stacking these Indians in the sun, nigga. Tribe up, nigga, this the war cry. Calling out tribes hit the front lines. Now and never, arrows up, let's fight. Wild Indians, yeah, it's wartime. Tribe up, nigga, this the war cry. Calling out tribes hit the front lines. Now and never, arrows up, let's fight. Wild Indians, yeah, it's wartime. I said what I said, and if I said it, then I meant it. I can stand on what I said in case it need to be repeated. Been a long time coming, but this shit right here was needed. If you African and your fight ain't on this land, nigga, beat it. Woo. That disrespect hit different, don't it, nigga? White man theory got you paying fries homeless, nigga. Niggas disrespect their family and their blood, nigga, just to follow everything the white man told them, nigga. Yeah, nigga, now that's a motherfucking good, nigga. Master said to disrespect the Indian, you do it, nigga. West side slaves, but you stealing out the east. Master told you niggas go and steal the culture out of east. Still talking about bones and some other shit. Them mountains and LSU been here longer than the pyramids. Culture vulture, African Americans can't go back to Africa. The Africans don't want them there. 1968, yeah, Bill of Rights. MLK March for Indian Civil Rights. We at home there, yeah, get it right. Pull up a picture, show me what them Indians looking like. Tribe up, nigga, this the war cry. Call it out, tribes hit the front lines. Now and never, arrows up, let's fight. Wild Indians, yeah, it's wartime. Tribe up, nigga, this is war cry. Calling out tribes hit the front line. It's now and never, arrows up, let's fight. Wild Indians, yeah, it's wartime.
Y'all, I was sitting over here talking. My bad, y'all. Um, I'm sitting over here talking, man, and y'all didn't even hear me. So we back at it, man. This is the brother Topcatz page right now. We just waiting for them to crank up. From what I'm reading in the comments over here on the brother Topcatz page, it looks like they're saying the hold up. Over on Sinetta's page, they're saying that the hold up is Topcatz. The reason it hasn't started yet. So I don't know if this is just a difference in time zones that's holding things up right now. But you got people in the chat waiting on it to start. Am I still muted? Am I still muted, y'all? But that's what we got going on right now. But the link is in the chat also if y'all want to. Am I still muted? I put the link in the chat for anybody. Okay, cool. I put the link in the chat for if anybody want to just come up and ask the debate is going on. Maybe want to make some comments about something they hear or whatever. That's cool with me. I'm very I don't, man, listen, y'all, normally I'd be asleep by now. But I actually want to see this. Yeah, I'm done. You can get it. I actually want to see this debate. I just hope it definitely is very informative. I hope the brother doesn't choke like Chief said he's done in the past. But I definitely want to. I think this debate is needed, and I hope he come through for us on this debate. You get what I'm saying? Oshia, Wilmore, what's happening? I hope he come through and he put it down on this debate. I think if this brother can stick to certain points, certain things, that it's nothing that Jabari will be able to say, whether he likes it or not, whether he likes what he hears or not. If it can be proven, if Topcatz can stand on it, he has nothing. And I'm not actually sure what the topic is, like how deep they're going in. But I do hope we get to address, or he addresses, um, where this whole Pan African thing came from, who's pushing it, some of the agents who were a part of this Pan African movement, um, the eugenics. I hope he really dives into some of this stuff, to smash this whole Pan African thing. Because one thing I've learned, man, is people love to follow. You know, they really love to follow. And I'm gonna tell you what I mean by that. I just watched the brother Taz exclusive over there on his channel earlier, right? And he was going in on Marcus Garvey. And I mean, he was breaking Marcus Garvey down, like, and you just had people in the chat, and they're in the chat, and they're in their feelings. They're all in their feelings, mad in their feelings because he's going in on Marcus Garvey, but they're ignoring all of the facts he's putting right in their face about Marcus Garvey and this Pan-African movement. I mean, putting it right in their face. It's just like church. This is what I be telling y'all, man. A lot of these people claim they're in this conscious community, man. A lot of these folks ain't conscious, man. A lot of these folks is unconscious. They sleepwalking. Should have stayed at church. So cognitive dissonance is just as bad over here in this unconscious community as it is over with the religious people. And it's a lot of people who just like to follow people, man. So, peace to everybody checking in, man. You know what I'm saying? The link is in the chat. If y'all want to rejoin the panel, or if y'all have something to say, or if y'all want to crank up a conversation while we waiting on them, maybe y'all tell me what y'all think, or what y'all are expecting, or what y'all hope to, or maybe what you would do if you were debating. I don't know. Whatever y'all want to chop it up about, I'm cool with that. So while we waiting, and they ain't cranked up yet, let me run this down to y'all. I got a couple things I want to run down to y'all real quick. And we'll get back to all of this, man. Hey, man, what's going on, man? It's your boy Chief Cali, man, checking in for the Truth Speaks Foundation. That's my nonprofit organization right here in Atlanta, Georgia. What we got going on going into the new year is we have a project called the 100 Tents Project, where we're planning to raise money for to be able to buy 100 tents to give back to our less fortunate people in the community, man. If you would like to be a part of this project, please, or you would like to donate, you can donate to our foundation cash app, which is $Truth Speaks INC. $Truth Speaks INC. But yeah, man, that's what we got going on, man. The 100 Tents Project, man. If you would like to be a part of that, if you would like to help with the healthcare products, you know what I'm saying, the packages, man, we would greatly appreciate it, man. But checking in, man, it's the Truth Speaks Foundation, man, with the 100 Tents Project, man. Check on your Chief Sun out checking in, man. Peace
Halito. Chief
How are
Cali,
you
how are
feeling?
you? How's your beautiful mom?
She's good. She's good.
Awesome. She a
Yes,
great
ma'am. Thank you
spirit,
for
man.
asking. Thank
Yeah.
you. I was telling my cousin, we was talking. We said, Chief, we was on the phone with my mom, and we was like, who does my mom in the community? Who does my mom remind you of? And both of us said, Empress
Empress
Holbert.
Holbert.
Yeah, we said, boy, like that's my mama though, man. I said, but
Yeah.
if she reminds you of anybody in this community, it would definitely be Empress Holbert, man.
But I see where you get your given nature from.
Yes,
But
ma'am.
anyway, I never have watched Sanchez, never wanted to, because I feel if you're not teaching me nothing, I don't need to be on your channel. But I saw the tactics he was using that night. He was muting. First of all, Chief Holiday was supposed to be a moderator. He was definitely muting Chief Holiday. He was muting AP.
Oh,
Then he was in the chat like talking about AP while AP was trying to give his statements and show his proof. he was distracting the people in the chat. So I'm like, this dude here,
Oh,
he
I didn't see
wasn't
all of
righteous
that.
at all. Yeah, he wasn't righteous at all. And
Oh, he had tactics on deck.
oh yes, he was the moderator, he was
Yeah,
the instigator, he was everything. You know what I'm saying? So
I
how you
saw.
gonna
Yeah,
win? How you gonna win a debate like that when you? And one thing I give big Aboriginal power, he was very calm. He didn't let these people rile him up like they were trying to do. You know, because everybody was talking in the chat. But the thing about it is, Chief Cali, this Aboriginal community, they don't have no loyalty at all. None.
I'm peeping that.
Man, I swear that's the most heartbreaking thing. But you know
It's
what?
very heartbreaking. It's very heartbreaking.
You know what? I've seen it in the the Pan African community. I've seen it how that, and that usually don't last. If you're not getting yourself together, claiming your nationality, you better leave that stuff in the dust. These YouTube that craziness, leave that in the dust, because that's all that is. That's craziness. That's
Yeah,
mental illness that these people have, and they don't want to, they don't want to come together. They're always talking about coming together, but it's always a chaotic energy. I'm sick of it.
yeah.
Truly sick of it.
Treep, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. Like, it's very heartbreaking to me, right? And one thing I try to tell my brothers, man, is one thing I try not to let them see me um so down or disappointed or whatever. So that's why they'll tell you, people will come talk to me before they go talk to Wild Indian or before they go talk to Slim Bull, because really Slim Bull them ain't gonna give you the ear, like, because they don't know who to trust, right? They don't
Fact.
know, that's just how they feel. Like, we don't know who to trust around here, and I think, like, with me, I still try to give people, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on,
Right,
like,
but can you blame them? But the thing about it, that's why I be so adamant about people meeting face to face, meeting with the eyes, with the soul, with the energy, with the
that's right.
frequencies, because you'll know what people are about. As soon as you meet them, you will feel their energy. And
Yeah,
that's
I'm
why
definitely one of those guys.
yeah, I have to meet you. I have to look you in your eyes. I have to break bread with you. You eat my cooking, I eat your cooking. We go out and eat or whatever, but we
Right.
definitely meet in the middle and get to know each other. And that's
Get
the
some
thing.
understanding.
Right.
Yeah,
A lot
Peace,
of
chief.
people don't
Peace.
know each other, and they're just saying a lot of stuff that they hear.
that's
They're
right.
believing the lies that people tell, and they're not really. But I see the evil in Sanchez, Brand. That dude, he an
Hmm.
agent.
Yeah, me too.
Wow, this is
Me
crazy,
too.
because I
Me
mean,
too.
maybe that's why I've never been drawn to. And I'm the type of person, like, I try to wait till I meet a person or I deal with a person, because I don't know what other people's people experiences with other people are different. But I just never been drawn to him.
Neither have
Um,
I.
and
Never.
Me either.
yeah, no, I mean, everybody's not for everybody. Even like me, right? I'm not for everybody, and everybody ain't for me.
Facts.
So just like the sister Aber, I mean, it seems like Sanchez is for her. From what little bit I heard, he's just
But
for her.
listen to this lady logic. She said about the Empire State. I mean about the the lady in New York. That was a melanin woman. First of all, that's a replica image. You talk about an image that's not even real. Then she said she saw the images in South America. I've seen the images in the Mayan. I know what AP talking about.
Mm,
I've been around the world, and in Russia, they have images of melanated people. So that means that we're from Russia as well. They have melanin people all over this world. So
yeah,
her logic was way off.
Yeah, I
I
think
didn't get the lot. I didn't
yeah.
get the.
I honestly
me
couldn't
either.
agree with it, because I mean, if that's the case, if we can't consider these sources, right, then I mean, we wouldn't have went through school using these same things in school, in grade school, and in high school, and middle school. Like we wouldn't have used these things.
But
So
whose history you had to listen to first to get to your own? Whose history you
yeah,
had to read? You had to read their history. That's the
His
only
story.
way you. That's right. You had to get his story. So some of these archaeologists that's digging up these bones is saying that there are copper colored people that was found, and AP was reading that. I don't get it. So Sanchez showed a Google image of what he's talking about, and oh, that was so acceptable. But what AP was talking about wasn't acceptable. These people listen with such biasness, and they need to start having discernment. Stop thinking with their emotions. Everybody think with their emotions, and we
yeah,
need to stop that.
it's a lot of that. It's a lot of that going on, the emotion things. I'm sorry to cut you off, Chief.
Oh,
I
not
just
at
want
all.
to I think they're getting ready to start.
Yes, let's
Let me get
go.
through this. Let me
Let's
see.
go.
One
He's in
second.
America. All of this culture, this history, but the fact is,
PC's
all of
PC's
this is
out.
fairly new. Africans in America and this here. But like I said, it's the
Is somebody?
colonizer telling
Hold
the
on,
story.
y'all. I'm hearing feedback
I
somewhere.
guarantee you tonight,
I think
Jabari
that's
come here to do
Chief.
story
Chief,
time.
did you get some feedback?
I
He's
got
not
it.
having the
I
source.
got
He's
it.
not gonna be able to prove anything, and if he do, it's gonna be from the white man. I feel like it's gonna be a very, very simple and easy debate. And when we come out of this, we will see that the white man and the Pan-African have been the colonizer this entire time. Bars.
Man, he's letting go 30 seconds of his time. He still got time.
He don't need it.
Also, we'll show and prove that the American Indian is the indigenous people here in America, and Jabari can't prove to us that the African was here. Big bars.
Damn, man. He ain't playing no
It didn't take long for the court to
Brother Jabari, it is
Let's
on
go,
you, my brother.
man.
You got
Let's
3
go.
minutes in this opening argument here. Let the people know what it is you are here to prove, brother. Time will start when you start. Hey, everybody go on.
Yeah, Chief. I was just gonna say the same thing to you.
Now,
If you
I
want to
wanna
talk,
really
unmute
be
yourself.
clear that what you heard from our dear brother Chief, Big Chief, was basically a word salad. They almost weren't even sentences. I don't even know. Let's just start with the first thing he said that he was wrong. He said that I said the Aboriginal community is dangerous. That's not what I said. I said that the idea of the Aboriginal is dangerous. And I think that what we have to be clear about is that when a man is confused, a man can actually be used to work against his own interest. And I want to say that this idea that these black, dusky individuals that live in the New World are not those people of African descent, not those people who gave civilization to the world, not those people who gave DNA, their own blood to the world, and also not those people who were forced to create the Western world. When you do that, you become confused. And clearly, if you don't understand how confused our dear brother is, just recognize that he calls himself an American Indian. Native people are shying away from the word Indian as it is, because the reason why that folks got called Indians is because Christopher Columbus had no idea where he was. Native peoples didn't call themselves Indians. He thought he was in India. And Big Chief is so confused that he would like to use a word that has been completely repudiated. He said that I'm not going to be able to show you that Africans come from Africa. He's also said that Africans, there are no white tribes in South America. What does that even mean? I don't even know what that means. That doesn't make any sense. I hope you heard that didn't make any sense. That there were no African Europeans. What does that mean, there are no African Europeans? There are Africans all over the world.
Angie,
all over the world.
It's a good ass debate on my channel, on my YouTube channel.
That when you come to this misunderstanding of who you are, there is no way for you to understand what you must do. Imagine if you woke up today and you had no remembrance of what you did yesterday. What would you do today? How would you move powerfully into your future? I'm going to say to you, brother, that this extremely ahistorical, unscientific, confused mishmash that you would like to place on our people must end. The African world must unite. If Africans have a unified understanding of who we are, we will once again be the people at the forefront of human civilization. And so I will end this confusion tonight.
All right, beautiful, man.
Bang, bang. What we gonna do, man?
All right, if you got a PowerPoint, legendary Top Cat, it's your time to load that joint up. We're gonna give you 8 minutes. As you loading it up, I want to give my young brother out there in Chicago. These brothers are trying to get on their promotional thing, and they doing big things out there in Chicago. They're not picking up guns. They out there doing the work, and they out there becoming an entrepreneur. And as my brother, legendary Top Cat, get ready and load up his ammunition, all right? I want to give y'all some powerful information from these young brothers. It's less than a minute.
What's up, y'all? This Kenny coming at y'all with my brand new clothing line, True Legacy. Right now we got the tees and we got the hoodies. We got many different colors. Have more products coming real soon. Check us out at truelegacyclothing.com. Use the code LEGACY21 for 20% off your first order. Through this clothing line, we encourage all our supporters to continue grinding and hustling despite the opposition, despite the circumstance, and eventually form your legacy. Shout out to South End Studios for the support, and I appreciate y'all's support. Peace and Black Power.
Yeah, man, we checking in right now, man. This is Chief Topcatz versus Jabari, man. The Aboriginal versus the Pan-African, man. We checking in, man. Hey, man, I hope this turns out to be something very informative, man. Let's see what they're talking about.
Hey, legendary Top Cat, are you loaded up? Are you loaded up? Have you loaded up your intellectual ammunition and you ready to go? Missiles in the silo. It's on you, brother. Where you at?
All right, turn
on. You running to the bathroom, huh? Come on, you gonna be all right. It's gonna be all right, brother. All right, I'm showing your screen. The time will start when you start, brother. Just let me know when you're ready. What are the origins of Pan-Africanism? He's going in on that. Let's go. Let me know when you're ready, brother.
All right, turn up. We ready?
All right, we on. Time will start, brother. You got 8 minutes.
Turn up one time, man. Just to let y'all know who I am. Little bit like me, man. Right here, bloodline. Bloodline is more important than anything. When you see, Pan-Africans don't deal with bloodline because Pan-Africans are the conqueror. Pan-Africans are here to take away your bloodline. They teach you that the white man told you that you didn't have a name, you didn't have a culture, you didn't have a history, and that you weren't tied to your ancestors. And there is no way to go back and find out unless you use their scientific, right, which is a trap that takes you back to only the colonies that the British had. Anyway, but through my bloodline was important, man. My family made sure that I knew this. Al Edwards, Mr. Juneteenth. You don't get Juneteenth without Al Edwards. This is my grandma's first cousin. His blood is flowing through my veins. Buck Cobra Franklin also. He was a lawyer and he represented the survivors of the Tulsa, Oklahoma, Black Wall Street. Also, Osceola, Seminole American Indian leader during the Second Seminole War. Turned up one time, man. Shout out to Osceola, man. A lot of stolen legacy down there. Shout out to my Seminole and Muskogee Creeks out there. Right here, man. This is my second great grandma. All right, and my grandma gave me this, and this is our history right here. Our family was chiefs of the Coshada tribe. The third band of Indians was Chief Migos. The area where they live was the area where the Mingos live. This is my family right here, the Mingos. Hold up, let me do something.
Let me know if you need me to stop your time.
You want to know your whole ancestry tree, and you want to learn as much as you can where your grandma living. And I hate to say it because I don't ever want to see the day when Foster got go. But one day I'm gonna be gone. You gotta document the information I give you. And all this stuff in my head, I need to write it down. Here's the picture. I had to show.
All right, so I just want to turn it off right there. That's my family teaching me the importance of genealogy and bloodline and understand who you are and where you come from. And can't nobody, don't let a Pan-African colonizer take that from you. All right, let's walk. They like to tell us that the white man did this, the white man did that. The fact of the matter is that the 13 colonies were founded by melanated people from Europe, royal bloodlines. Also, they never tell you in Africana studies about the free Negro slaves. They don't talk about the slaves in the colony, the plantation owners in the 13 colonies. They never tell us about the Black Confederates, the Black Ku Klux Klan. They never talk to us about these things. Where does this idea of this Afrocentric back to Africa mindset come from? This connection of Africa and Americas come from? Well, it comes out of Paul Cuffey. He was one of the first people to come out and speak about this here. Paul Cuffey, if you read his history, they try so hard to tell you that they're African. This is my thing. If these people are African, please tell us something African about them. Because when we go into their story, the only thing we find is European. Everything about them is European. So right here, man, they was over in Cutty Hump. If we come right here to Peleg Slocum, this is the person that supposedly owned his imaginary father. We know nothing about his father. We have no records on him. But what we do have is Peleg Gow. This guy was a part of the Society of Friends, which was a Quaker organization, okay? So you have the white Quakers and you have the black Quakers. They walk. And so Paul Cuffey family was a part of this. They was high-ranking in the Society of Friends. Paul Cuffey went over to Sierra Leone, the first British colony. And guess what he do? He went over there. He didn't go start an African lodge. No, sir. He went and started the Society of Friends over there, a European organization. A European organization. And on top of that, they was in Dartmouth enslaving Indians. Okay, this is a slave-owning family. Pan-African. Pan-African. Let's talk about it. They tell us about George Washington and all the founding fathers, but they never told us that we had quote-unquote black founding fathers. I wonder why they don't teach us this in Pan-Africanism. James Fordham, founding father of the United States of America. How in the hell you a founding father of the United States of America and you ain't no colonizer? Because ain't now one of them picked up a rifle, a bayonet, or anything and got blood on his hand from a white boy. And they try to come out here and give it to us in a revolutionary spirit. But these guys are pastors. Okay? These guys got the Holy Bible in their hand. They don't have no Orisas or Boutés or none of this shit in their hand. They made all that up too. But listen, they got the Bible. They have the Bible. And so when I tell you that Pan-Africanism, their foundational base is Christianity. Damn, Big Chief, why you just say that? Because when they split from the white boy, it wasn't because the white boy called him a nigga. It wasn't because the white boy said, I hate you. It wasn't because he slapped his mama or enslaved his mama or raped her or any other fake shit that they teach you in Africana studies. But it was because the white boy didn't want him around him. Okay? So they say. But anyway, Richard Allen was in the wrong place on a particular day in 1792. The white boy said you got pews outside. And they split up. Got an attitude. Didn't want to leave fast enough. The white boy put his hands on him. And none of them niggas in there helped. All right? That's what Pan-African do to you. That's what Pan-Africanism do to you. But anyway, they fell out over Jesus. Okay, bars. Ain't nowhere around there. Ain't nothing you can do about it. They fell out over Jesus. So they said, we got to go split. We got to go split. And you wonder why our community leaders are only pastors and masons. Still to this day, they're only pastors and masons. You know why? Because one of your black founding fathers, European Society of Friends, nigga, coming from a slave-owning family as well, him and Richard Adams as well. Let's turn up. Absalom Jones became the first pastor. Okay? Became the first pastor in America. And then you see your Reverend Martin Luther King. He made the way for your Reverend Al Sharpton and your Reverend Jesse Jackson. Pan-Africanism. Ain't never fought the white man, but we see him working side by side, telling us he don't have the power to stop this white boy from doing what he's doing to you. Let's walk. You know why they all Masons? Because they also was a part of the Masonic Lodge when Prince Hall and them opened their doors. Guess what? Reverend Absalom Jones was grand worshiping, and Richard Allen was the goddamn treasurer. Okay, so they got you got your Free African Society gonna come out of that as well. Where they talking about you niggas need an identity now. You need an identity. They got to give you an identity now, right? Not to mention, okay, so let's deal with this Allen guy. They said he was enslaved by Benjamin Chew. Okay, do you know who Benjamin Chew mentor was? It was William Allen. Okay, the mayor of Philadelphia. He ran Philadelphia. Powerful his family in Philadelphia and he became the youngest grandmaster. He put Benjamin Franklin on, Thomas Paine, a lot of these guys who became big time people in America, the Allen family put them on. You know, goddamn slave, prove it. Prove it. You niggas are capped. So just like they white daddy, these Pan-African ass niggas want to be a Mason just like their daddy, okay? That's why they can't help. You know what else they did? These bourgeoisie had good talking, good King English speaking ass nigga. I don't speak good King English. I'm an Indian, homie. Black Abolition of the National Negro Congress, okay? 1830, man. They put together this Congress. Guess where it happened at? In the AME church. Because all of this savagery and all of this goddamn colonization is gonna go down through the AME church. Why they ain't gonna get them an African church? Why ain't no African goers in there? Why they got you niggas praising Jesus? And the Pan-African community turn around and tell us that the white man and Jesus, the black church is what did this to it. Well, damn, here goes your black church right here. Your origins of Pan-African. 1830, they put together all these bourgeoisie ass niggas in America, met up in Philadelphia at Mother Bethel in the church, and they discussed moving you niggas ass to Liberia, Canada, or wherever you can go, what first thing smoking. They wanted you away from here. Why? Not they idea. Where was their idea? Them and the white boy. But they said,
time, brother, time.
Hey, white boy, can y'all leave?
All right, time.
We ain't going nowhere. All right, you know what else they did? All your HBC.
Time, brother. Time. You can't hear me?
Okay, all right, my bad.
That's why I said I gave y'all the option. Do y'all want 10 minutes or 8 minutes? I said that. Do you want to give them another 2 minutes, Jabari?
Absolutely.
All right, go ahead. Go ahead, brother. You got 2 more minutes, so we could do the 10 minutes.
Let's go. I bet you won't come back and prove what I said was wrong.
Brother, it's on you. You could keep going. Go ahead. Time will start.
In Port Royal experiment in '65, the Union defeated the Confederates down there. They took over Sea Islands. Well, they instrumented the Penn School down there, which is all this shit is quite.
He think he got something on.
Penn School, and down there they used that blueprint to come through the South.
After
they leave out of there, they'll create HBCU. Guess who helped them? The goddamn AME church. Okay. The goddamn AME church, the Great Migration, Big Mama house got sold and y'all land got stolen in the South. Well, it was the AME church that convinced y'all to leave out of there during the 20th century. AME church active in civil rights. Y'all told y'all this these civil rights ass niggas, these Pan-African. They got people to leave their property and go to Kansas and work for money out there. And then in the HBCU, you know what else they do? They talk this African shit, but they're out there pledging European on them. They're out there pledging European, not only here, but they done took it on the road to Africa with them, another British colony. They also, in Sierra Leone, they got the first grammar school through a missionary program. Also, in goddamn, Lagos, the motherfucker named after the church. And then the father of Nigeria nationalism, he brought the Democrats and the politics out there, also comes from a European family as well, the Macaulay family, Scottish Irish ass shit. All right, I land right there.
You got 43 seconds, bro.
Okay, all right, turn up the American Colonization Society. So this these Quakers, they wanted to get these niggas away from them and find them away. Why? Because they wanted our land here in America for themselves. They wanted our land for themselves, and these black European ass niggas helped them. When I come back in the second round, I will show you and provide the evidence without a shadow of a doubt that these Pan-African niggas helped them to try to colonize the land from the indigenous Americans. Bars.
All right, man.
Bars.
It's going
That's a
down,
wrap.
Jabari. Hope you ready for this. First round, Jabari, you got 8 minutes in this round. The time will start when you start, my
10 minutes. You got 10 minutes.
I mean, 10 minutes. My bad. Thank you. You got 10 minutes in this round. The time will start when you start, brother Jabari.
Let's hear this pastor preach.
Hey, and I need you, legendary Topcat, to tell your people to please stop spamming the chat. We know they love you, brother, but tell them to stop spamming the chat because you know they mess it up when they do that. Let your people know, brother. Go ahead.
Hey, y'all, we gonna stay dangerous, but you know, if y'all spam, wait, when you say they spamming, what you mean they doing?
They spam in the chat. They know what spamming means. I'm a little off with that too, but my people is hitting me up, let me know to tell your people, because you know we respectful over here when
But
Jabari
we
debate.
gonna be respectful too,
Yeah,
but
Man,
Jabari
fuck
debate, we
all
don't
that.
do nothing to mess
Man,
up.
tell him to come over here to my chat.
Yeah, we see
Get
that.
that
Hey,
spam
Fine,
my
it's all
chat.
good.
man,
We
that's
love it.
some bullshit.
Right, brother.
Get
That's
out of here, man.
bullshit.
It's good.
Man, come over here to Chief
Brother
Cali
Jabari,
chat.
time will start when
Y'all
you
can
start,
come
brother.
spam this chat.
I'm
Get
not
outta
even
here.
exactly sure where to
Spam
start.
chat.
So, because I don't know whether Big Chief made an argument.
Oh,
I thought
man.
that he was going to try to explain how the Pan-Africans actually have led to confusion, but then he
Well,
didn't.
hold
talk
on, brother.
about
I can't let you just talk, brother. I mean, whatever you want to do to respond to that, you got 10 minutes in this round, brother.
Yeah, I know. Go ahead, start me. Start me, brother.
Let's get it.
Yeah, I don't even know. I mean, he didn't talk about any Pan-Africans. Pan-Africans. He talks about the AME Church, pastors, Masons, and he thinks that means that I don't know what he thinks it means. Just because they're pastors and Masons, what does that mean exactly?
Get to
then
it,
he
boy.
even said some really confused things. They started the AME Church. Why didn't they start an African church? Does he not know that AME stands for African Methodist Episcopal? I'm confused. Now, you are talking to a Kemetic priest, a practitioner of ancient African spirituality. So let's be clear. I'm not here to convince anyone that they should be Christian or belong to a church. That is not what I'm doing. But I want to be clear that this brother was supposed to be talking to us about Pan-Africanism and about how we can prove that the dusky individuals who live in this land, let's call them Black people, are natives. And I don't think he did any. I'm not sure what he did.
Yes, he did.
Once again, this is a word salad.
He was showing the origin.
He says
He
that 13
making
colonies
excuses.
were founded by
Right, he
melanated
was
people.
showing the origins of the
He says that
Pan-Africanism.
there was a
And
black
it starts with
KKK.
these churches and shit.
Source?
Fact.
He shows us that there are some people of African descent that have Native American descent. So did you get the impression that I was going to say, or that anyone was going to say, that there aren't people that don't have mixed parentage? None of what he said has anything to do with the topic or generating an argument for himself.
He didn't
So what I'm
say
going
it,
to
he
end up
showed
having
it.
to do
very much
is just
did.
talk about the topic.
It very much did.
And I hope you understand that I would, in some ways, I would like to actually respond to what he said.
You don't
but
know
be
how to
very
respond.
frank with you,
Fact.
and respectful to
Still
you,
got 10
Big
minutes.
Steve, you didn't say anything.
Listen, he can't give you,
You
he
didn't say
can't come
anything.
out and give you everything right out
There
the
are
gate.
many, many ways
He got to start
that
somewhere.
we know that these people that we call Black are people of African descent. And if you'd like to critique the Pan-African movement, fine, you can critique the Pan-African movement. But I'm not even sure how that has anything to do with whether people view themselves as Africans or as Native people. What does that have to do with it? What if the Pan-African movement was horrible? What if I stipulated that to you, which I would not?
He don't know how to answer.
What would that have to do with who we actually
This nigga
are?
asking a bunch of questions.
Look,
But even then, you
He don't
haven't
even know where to
mentioned
go.
the Pan-African. Who would say that Martin Luther King was a Pan-African leader? Jesse Jackson was a Pan-African leader. Paul Cuffey was a Pan-African leader. You are the only one, Big Chief. And this is because you have not studied Pan-Africanism. And second of all, you're talking about what Africana Studies teaches.
That's an assertion.
I would love for you to
Yeah,
even
tell
tell
us
us
about it,
one
bro. Tell us about
institution that teaches Africana Studies. I want you to be really clear that I have a degree in Africana Studies, so I know a little thing about Africana Studies.
Well, answer the question then.
I mean, this was really kind of confusing. I'm not exactly.
Hey
sure
man,
why
he hit this
he
nigga with a
went
right,
off that
left,
way. Let's
and
just
2
talk about
hooks, nigga. He on the
really
ropes
briefly.
already.
Let's do that.
He got knocked out
Because what I'd like to do is perhaps
Jabari
get to the
dizzy.
point where
He
you're able
dizzy.
to understand the
That
challenge
nigga legs hurt.
of what he's describing. Let's do this. I'm gonna do this very quickly, Sonetta. Let me just start here, and certainly there's more that I can say.
Hey,
can you see this screen from
Jabari
Black
is
Past,
dizzy right
Sonetta?
now.
Please
Yes,
let me
we
know.
see it. It's up.
I usually have 2 screens. I have only one. Well, I thought he was going to talk about the
That nigga
Pan-African
came out hot.
Congresses. I thought he was going to talk about the origin of Pan-Africanism. He didn't do any of that.
Psych your
I'm
mind.
not
He
sure
did.
why.
He
Psych
told you
your
Paul
mind.
Most
Custom.
people would say that
He
some
said Paul
of
That's
Custom.
what
the
you get for
earliest
thinking.
adherents to
He told you where it came
would be
from.
Henry Sylvester
Facts.
He
Williams,
literally did.
who actually came from Trinidad, and when he arrived in London, tried to actually encourage Africans in the diaspora to unite and to work for a common aim and towards the betterment of the community.
Shout out
Another
to Wild Indian checking in.
major functionary,
Power to the guy, Wild Indian.
E.B. Du Bois, who actually was so enthralled with Pan-Africanism that he actually ended up living in Ghana. Now, I want to be really
This
clear
nigga
with you
crashing and
that
burning,
Du
bro.
Bois, while he's an
Bad.
impressive intellectual, does not come with his own challenges, because he had also lots of disagreements with other leaders that we can consider Pan-African. And clearly, I am referring to perhaps who I would call the Prince of Pan-Africanism, Marcus Mosiah Garvey.
Who never
Clearly,
went to
these
Africa.
are
Oh,
those individuals
Lord.
that we
Never
should
went to
consider
Africa, by the
Pan-African.
way.
He
I
pulled
really
up
don't understand why
Garvey.
he didn't mention any of them, but then wanted to talk to you about pastors and
He
masons.
went to Garvey.
What does it matter if they're pastors and masons, black pastors and masons? What does it matter if they had any role or any affiliation with the Quakers? How does that advance your argument? What is the argument that you are making?
Nigga, you make
The
an
only
argument.
answer that we can have
All
at this
these
point is
questions.
none. You are making no argument. You are making no argument.
Well, make
All I
yours
heard
then.
was an assault of profanity with no substance.
What?
And I'm not exactly sure why he thought that that was a successful argument, but clearly
Right,
he did.
Tanari.
But I'm confused. I really am a little confused. I don't know why he believes.
No, he's
that
really
was a successful
confused.
way
He
to
is really
argue against
confused.
Pan-Africanism.
He needs
Let me
some
do this
milk.
really quickly. I'm not going to spend all my time on this. I do want to show you some of the sources, some of the ways that we know that Africans are actually, how we know that people of Black folks are people of African descent. Let's do that a little bit. Come on now. Here we go. Working with a different system today. I'm sorry. Here we go. Let's look at this for a second. I think one of the challenges is that people who are part of the Aboriginal movement, either they manipulate and just really just mangle the history of the African, or they don't read it at all. There's a lot of there are tons of reasons.
He don't even know what
why we
Aboriginal
know that
mean.
the African, the Black person in the United States and in the West, is an African. We know this through eyewitness accounts of Africans. We know this through eyewitness accounts of Europeans in the Tamhu. We know this through the Papal Bulls. The Papal Bulls were those documents that were written by the Vatican in order to acknowledge that they were doing something absolutely inhumane to those people on the continent of Africa. We know this through international treaties and foreign affairs laws. We have records of war between Africans and Europeans. We have enslavement artifacts. We have artifacts of Africans who actually are clinging to Africa after being forcibly removed from it. We even have linguistic evidence. Take a look at some of these acts. We have the Slave Trade Act of 1794, the Slave Trade Act of 1807, so on, so on, and so on. I'm talking quickly because we have very little time. We actually know that there are lots of wars that describe the enslavement of the African, and they were very clear who they were enslaving. The British sinking of the Spanish Armada in 1588, the battle over who would be able to enslave and actually rape the mineral resources of Africa. We know that Queen Nzinga fought against the Portuguese. We see an image of Queen Nzinga on the right. There are artifacts. Look at the artifacts of our enslavement. Why are these here? Why are they on the western continent the western coast of Africa, and also in the New World, the West? Why do we see them if nothing happened? How about the remains of enslaved people? Some of them, when you go to, for example, the African burial ground here in New York City, you'll see the African beads that they thought were so important to them. Take a look at lot B340. Please do some research on this. I'm not going to talk about that part of it yet because it would take too long. Here goes a bill of sale. And it says here, this is from 1763. On Thursday, arrived from the coast of Africa, the brig Royal Charlotte, a parcel of extreme fine, healthy, well-limbed Gold Coast slaves. They're telling you where they got them from. We see these ads throughout the world. Take a look at this one. Here's another ad for the ship Juba, which says that it came during the African trafficking Africans. This was from Bristol in the UK on May 1787. You're looking at the ads themselves. Unlike Big Chief, these are the sources. He gave us nothing but his opinion, which was wrongfully obtained. How about the description of the ship Catherine that says that it actually had 180 tons per register. It was a prime sailor fit for the African or South Sea trade. How about that? Well, I'm not going to go on this part now. I want you to also understand that we have lots of records and the actual wrecks of enslavement.
All right, brother. Time.
You didn't give me any
Okay. I've been showing it on
screen. Stop.
You gotta
spent a bunch of time.
I can't see the screen, brother.
He spent hella time whining and complaining.
You can't see the screen.
Them niggas with the whole first half.
Hold on,
No,
Jabari.
no.
He spent the whole.
Hold on for 1 minute. Hold up. You don't see this right now. You don't see this, Jabari.
No, but brother, when I'm doing the presentation, I can't see the screen. Usually, I
got you. I see what you're saying.
I only have one today.
So open up another window, brother. Open up another window.
You could open another window, but you have to share.
Yeah, no excuses.
There's no excuses.
Fuck
Please,
them
brother.
excuses, man.
Hold on, Topcatz. Chill, brother. Chill, brother. Chill.
Come on now. There's no excuses.
Come on.
But what I'm saying is, for the next round, give me some verbal cues.
I got you. I just didn't want to interrupt. That's why I
got you. I want to be able to.
Topcatz, have you been seeing it when I throw it up like this?
Yep.
No, I ain't seen it.
Okay, so I will give both of y'all.
While I was doing my presentation, I couldn't see it.
Okay, so yeah, all right. So I'll give y'all both verbal information when the time
normally
is going down.
Normally I have two screens, but I'm in a hotel. I don't have my two screens.
He spent 3 hours whining and crying trying to gather.
Load up your ammunition. Second round is coming. 10 minutes will start when you're ready. And let me know, Topcatz, if you need me to stop the time to get to something. Same with you, brother Jabari. Say hold the time for a minute. I'll stop the time and then proceed on when y'all ready. So just let me know when you're ready. Also, I want to say to the people, family, listen, I'm giving this debate to y'all for free. So feel free to drop some
money,
love.
money,
Give
money.
Some love up in the cash.
Money.
Yeah, go get a job, nigga.
Some love up in there, man.
Money.
Right?
Cash, always
Brother
asking
Topcatz, are you ready?
Hit the cash app.
One time, I'm ready.
FDMG.
All right. The time. Can you see the time now? Why you like that?
I'm looking at my presentation.
Hold on. Look, do you see me up on the top?
Nah.
Yes.
You don't see me up top?
You know what it is, Sonetta? When you put forward a PowerPoint, it has to fill the screen, so you can't see.
He's still sharing the screen.
What the folks at home can see all four of those windows. But.
Okay, so I'll let the folks see it at home, and I'll verbally let y'all know. I just don't like to interrupt y'all. Brother Topcatz, the time will start when you start, brother.
All right, turn it one time. First off, let me say that I'm pissed off, okay? Because I stayed up all night putting my shit together, and I was square business about today. And my opponent show up late. Not only is he late, but he show up, and he don't have nothing to put up on the screen.
Facts.
He took that time to Google that weak ass Pan African thing, and I hope he didn't think that I had something for him. And I really appreciated him for setting up the alley hoop. Setting up the alley hoop to throw that bitch right off the glass to the Big Chief, because he brought up three major colonizers.
Get him, Chief.
We're going to deal with that ass. Speaking of colonizers, why do we say they're colonizers? We know they working with the American Colonization Society.
Facts.
And the key word in there is colonization. Whenever it's a company, if you walk into a goddamn building, and if you walk into a business, they're letting you know what's going on in the building. So if you was working to the American Colonization Society company, guess what's going to be going on in that motherfucker? A whole lot of colonization. Let's walk. So American colonization was built by who? Quakers, made up of Quakers. Here this Quaker shit go. And like Paul Cover, they want to send niggas back to Africa. They had the Society of Friends in London. They had the Relief of the Poor Blacks. They ended up sending the Loyalists, who was mostly of American Indian and Scottish Irish descent, right? And that's the people who the Africans trying to get to take their place. But let's walk. Let's see. Now through here. All right, now let's deal with it. In 1787, the idea of colonization was not new. He said that Paul Cuffey had nothing to do with Pan-Africanism. Well, let's walk. Because this same back to Africa ass theory that he running around here trying to push, Paul Cuffey then was pushing it. Put some respect on that man's name. You come out that week ass presentation, at least respect the big Pan-Africans. All right, let's walk. He felt that black people living in America would never be treated as equal and would be better off elsewhere. Who that? And listen to this colonizer shit. He felt, no, that white boy told you to go get the niggas out of here. Now watch this here. James Fortin, your other three founding fathers, James Fortin, anyway, they said they met up in Richard Allen Church, in the black church, and they told niggas to go to Africa. And down here, Fortin wrote Paul Cuffey and told him there wasn't a single soul that said they was gonna go. Ain't that a bitch? When nobody down with that. And so a part that they leave out is the missionary part. Now you have the now when they set up Nigeria, they set up Sierra Leone. After they set up Sierra Leone, you got the sister company come with Liberia, right? They went over there and colonized Liberia as well, colonizers. Now, who was instrumental in the funding of this was the Church Mission Society. So let's walk. This is Crowther, which they tell you that y'all come up with some of the weakest bedtime stories. But anyway, Crowther went out there. He was a part of this Nike expedition. They wanted to find out the origins.
He going in.
That's how you gotta treat these.
When they got them, they had a language barrier.
Yeah.
And so he was instrumental in helping create the Yoruba, the Igbo, and a lot of these syllabaries so they could create a Bible so they could go there and colonize the niggas at. The Pan-Africans ain't nothing but Christians.
Right.
All right, that'll walk us into the Brussels conference. Now, when we get to the Brussels conference, they don't never like to talk about the Brussels conference, but this is coming from the source. The Brussels conference right here. I can drop that link for y'all. All right, now it say with the foundation of the 1788 African Association of London, right here in this book, they're gonna speak about using the blueprint of the African Association. And then we go into the Berlin Conference where they carve up Africa into slices of pies. And here come these niggas, right? They always, this is when they start Africana studies after that, right? They always tell us about the goddamn Berlin Conference and the scramble for Africa, right? And then here these niggas come. Here these Masonic ass niggas come. Sons and daughters of the colonizers. All of them family on the plantation somewhere in the goddamn island. But anyway, on the 24th September, Henry Sylvester Williams, ain't that nigga they been brought up? They say the father of Pan-Africanism. Well, guess what he did? He was instrumental in founding the African Association in response to the European partition of Africa that followed the Congress of Berlin. So they saying that it wouldn't be no Pan-African movement without the goddamn Berlin scramble is what they tell them. These ain't never sons and daughters of colonizers coming to get their slice of the pie. How do we know that? What is the African Association? Let's go back to 1788 when they went over there and put
5 minutes.
They also instituted the African Association.
5 minutes.
You say what?
5 minutes. Go ahead, brother.
All right. It was a African Association. They founded it. This was the association of promoting the discovery of the interior parts of Africa. They created the African Association to go in and colonize Africa. And here these colonizing ass niggas show up with the same name. They used the African Association. They never went nowhere, family. Let's walk. Who else was a part of this? Well, he go the other nigga they brought up. W.E. Du Bois with his colonizing ass, right? It's a shame what you did to them people in the Philadelphia experiment. But he got an ancestor that worked for the African Association who was Johann Bocart, okay? Johann Bocart who worked for the African Association as well, and he ended up dying before he can goddamn. And then you know what? He went to college and went over there and played Muslim. Another nigga that went to Africa and played Muslim on their ass was the other father, widely known as the father of Pan-Africanism. You know what he did? He met a white boy named Knox, these Protestants, all these Protestant ass niggas. And Knox, look at him. 1845, he met Reverend Knox, a white American pastor, the Pan-African. And then they sent his ass over there to Liberia. Now watch this here. Guess who he's working with? He embraced the ideas of the American Colonization Society, of the American Colonization Society. Not only that, but guess what? The New York Colonization Society paid his way to goddamn Africa. The boy would have never went to Africa if the white folks would have never paid. He grew up in a goddamn Jewish church, but he took his ass to Africa and played Muslim. Reform. Here go this other colonizer, that nigga right here, Garvey. Why I say that? I wouldn't say that if I, listen, Garvey, this book right here, Ernest Cox. Okay, this book right here, Ernest Cox wrote a book called White America. What do he want to do? Send niggas ass to Africa. He wanted you out of America so he can have our land, our family land, indigenous Aboriginals land to himself. In that book on page 59, he says that, hold on, let me come up. He said a Negro leader will arise. He will be the foremost individuals in annals of Negro history. He will march his people back to the promised land. Who was that? Who was his Negro? Garvey. Guess what? Garvey said, I regard the Klan and the Anglo-Saxon Club as far as the Negro is concerned, a better friend of the race. Again, I told y'all they've been working with this white boy the whole time. That's why he's trying to send your ass to Africa. Now, you come over here, Ernest Cox. This the nigga who paid him. He's a known racist white supremacist. And also they helped him fund the Black Star Line, which come from the European White Star Line. Look at the colonization on that. Okay, here go another one of their white daddies right here. Listen, the white Jewish father of African studies dies. Jabari went sit here and had a degree in African studies if it weren't for this white boy right here. Put some respect on that white Y'all didn't know Pan-African white boy? He got pictures out there in Africa with all them white boys. He was the first one to come tell them that, hey, it's a connection between Africa and America. And the white boy said that. Boy, you ain't got nothing to do. Style our motherfucking business, white boy. The Pan-African let these white boys in. You know what? I had a slide, but I ain't gonna do it. I love John Henry Clark. I love him to death. I ain't gonna do it, Pops. I got you. But this colonized slick head nigga, he come on out here. The father of Gullah Geechee, what's up, man? They stole my family history right here. Real similar, right here. Lorenzo Dow Turner, right? This him and the white boy, the Pan-African. Lorenzo Dow Turner, Melville Hercules, scholarly interest in evidence publication. He's known for the Africanism dialect. Well, he's a linguistic that went around through South America as well, telling them that their language and their culture coming from Africa. Okay? Colonizer. Let me say this here before we go into anything else, too. He want to come out here and talk about DNA. He wasted all that time, didn't tell us nothing. He don't tell us about the importance of bloodline. He don't tell us where he fit in this African story.
1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute.
Cool. I opened up and told y'all and showed y'all who my family was. He have yet to tell us anything about this miraculous ass African story. How do he tie in it? You didn't tell us nothing about no Africans.
Bloodline.
Stay focused as well, brother.
Bloodline.
Story. You want to prove that we
genealogy,
American Indian. But my family, I just showed the proof that we were. You have yet to show the proof.
Bloodline.
And definitely not how you attach to this African story. The Pan-Africans, the colonizer, Big Chief Topcatz, I risked my second round. Big boys.
Body bag, nigga.
You took it. You took it.
All right, my
You
brother
took it.
Topcatz. That's what
Body bag. Bloodline. Bloodline. What did grandma say?
10 minutes. The time will start when you start.
Look at Jabari.
Bloodline, nigga.
Is up. Time will start when you start, brother.
He don't need 10 minutes.
Unmute yourself.
I'm not going to share quite yet. I want to say a few things.
He don't have no proof.
The problem that we're having is I think that Big Chief is not making an argument. He's not made an argument.
What?
This is not an argument.
He's told you that there's some individuals that might have worked with other white people.
He's trying to shoot them down.
Back to Africa.
And he's tearing his ass up.
I'm not even if I would stipulate that that was the case, and I wouldn't. What does that have to do with the argument? Why does that prove that you are a native Indian, as you call yourself? It does not. He told us about his grandmother, who he says told him that he was a Native American, a Native Indian. And I want to tell Big Chief and many of the others in the Aboriginal community how lineage works. You actually have 4 grandparents. Surprise! Even if your grandmother said you were a Native Indian,
how many moms
supposing that the other 3/4 of your DNA was that too? Brother, you are telling a story that is more fallacious than Sleeping Beauty. This is ridiculous.
Bloodline.
Even if I would believe your grandmother,
he can't fuck
that
with
you are a Native American. That has nothing to do with the story.
He can't fuck with it. Bloodline.
He also wants to tell us, by the way, he has to understand the Brussels conference. He means the Berlin conference. The Berlin conference.
Where's your African
He
bloodline?
continues to talk about the American Colonization Society. I would really love to talk to him more about the American Colonization Society, but to be very honest with you, it has nothing to do with the topic. Simply because there were some Africans who believe that maybe they should go back to Africa, that does not make them Pan-Africanist. Do you understand what Pan-Africanism is?
Yeah,
Pan
going
means
back to
all.
Africa.
And so essentially the concept of Pan-Africanism,
he ain't making no points.
I would even show you a definition. I don't even know if it's worth it at this point. Is that people who are of African descent around the world. I see the stupidness he's doing. It's okay.
He's fucked up. Jabari is lost.
The people who are of African descent around the world believe that they should create a unified platform, a unified agenda for the uplift of those people who are diasporan Africans and continental Africans. That's simply what Pan-Africanism is.
If I was Topcatz, I act like I fell asleep.
So what does the American Colonization Society have to do with that? One organization. What does it have to do with it?
Jabari don't know what he's
does
talking
Absalom
about.
Jones or James Fortin have to do with it? Are you telling me that because you disagree with two individuals, by the way, you have no idea what they did because your description of who they were was poor? I mean, even if those two individuals are terrible people, which they were not, how does that advance your argument? You have not advanced an argument yet. And I've sat here and listened to you for 20 plus minutes. Sonetta, I could honestly be sleeping right now because he's not making an argument.
You should have stayed asleep, nigga.
He's not making an argument. I showed you some of the ways that we know that people who are considered Black are African. That's what I was talking to you about. And you didn't respond to any of it.
Excuses, excuses.
He's spending two rounds on
go ahead and show
excuses.
you a few pieces here.
Two rounds on excuses.
Yes.
Do some things that perhaps you're not doing, and that's the unfortunate thing that you know, it's hard to debate a person who's not making an argument. He's not making an argument. Sonetta, this is.
He's not predictable.
Okay.
That's what it is.
I want
He's not predictable.
Let's take a look at this article.
He didn't come in here predictable.
This is a scholarly article that studies the DNA of people of African descent. And I know very well that he's going to say DNA is irrelevant. Of course he's going to say DNA is irrelevant because when he does the DNA studies, it is absolutely clear that he is not a Native American.
I feel another alley-oop coming.
It's up. We see it.
Yeah.
I feel another
damn
setup
sure
coming.
is not a Native Indian.
It's over.
I want to be clear that the reason why he's calling himself an Indian is because Columbus believed when he went to the Caribbean, he was in the Indies.
Uh-oh, he ain't say that, did he?
So this dude is so confused that he wants
Yes,
to take
he did.
He didn't go there, did he?
Columbus backwards.
Oh, he didn't go to the Columbus.
I'm going to just go down here. We could really talk about how, by the way, this article, which is in the American Journal of Human Genetics. That's what this is.
Said that for
from
real.
1998. It actually shows you an analysis of people of African descent and others. And what they were attempting to do is to actually deal with the topic that I believe our dear brother should be dealing with, whether he is actually a quote unquote Indian.
Facts, Geechee.
I want you to be very clear.
I see an alley-oop coming.
That
this
study showed that there was less than 1% of the DNA of the African, less than 1% of the DNA of the African was actually native. Did you hear what I said?
Why did he bring that DNA
Less than
up?
1% of the DNA of the African was actually native. That's the challenge that we have.
Topcatz waiting on that DNA.
When
boy.
you actually look at an analysis of these studies, you will see that what Big Chief, or whatever he likes to call himself, actually is doing. What he's doing is actually completely confused. I'm trying to find the actual source here. The actual quote here. So you can actually see
Hey, man, get this guy out of here, man.
Where we're going, it's a long article. So you'll actually be able to see that we're at the point where this has to end.
Get him out of here.
We have to get to the point where we are able to finally say that these people that we consider the black folk of this land are actually people of African descent. Okay. They're being really generous here. Look at the amount that they say they find of people who are actually have native blood. 1.3 to 2.7 in that population. 1.3 to 2.7 of the people they studied in that particular population had Native American blood.
Done.
I want you to, family, this is actually a study that is available online. It's not hard to get. I want you to take a look at it so that you're able to truly understand how confused our dear brother is. Here's another good article. Look at this one here. This one actually uses some of the sources that are commercially available. So I don't know how much time is left on the clock.
It don't matter. You dead, nigga. All y'all do.
You're muted, Sonetta.
You got 2 minutes and 45 seconds.
It's a funeral.
Okay. So if you look here, here goes a discussion of some of the DNA that is pulled from large numbers of people. Some of it comes from 23andMe. This is one of the sources that you see.
23andMe.
People actually looking for their DNA.
This
right?
is all bad.
Look at this one. In the average African American genome, for example, it is 73.2% African, 24% European, and can you read this here? 0.8. That's less than a percentage Native American. By the way, Latinos have 18%.
Oh, this is all bad. He went to 23andMe, nigga.
Big Chief, I'm gonna tell you something that's probably gonna upset you. When you actually look at those pictures of those black ancestors, your relatives that have those long noses and that straighter hair than you would expect, you are seeing something that none of us want to actually deal with. You're seeing European DNA. That's what you're seeing.
Topcatz like, I should have stayed in bed.
Big Chief, please. All I've heard is profanity from you tonight.
Please stop beating up on me. I want to
speak to you as a brother. I really hope that you actually embrace science and history, because it will help you understand who you actually are.
Hey, they in Sonetta's chat laughing like a motherfucker.
You are not an Aborigine, no matter how much you put that on that ridiculous feather headdress that you have. You aren't. And I don't care what you say about those individuals that you have mentioned, whether you like them or not. That's irrelevant. That does not create a
1 minute.
You.
1 minute.
By the way, he actually tried to make it sound like the first Pan-African Congress was working with the in some strange way, like they were working with Europeans.
Hey, over in Sonetta's chat,
did he
even the Pan-Africans are like, this is embarrassing. I'm reading the comments. The Pan-Africans is like, this is embarrassing.
You know, one of the things that Jabari is going to do when you come against me is I'm going to impeach you with your own sources. Take a look at this. Is his slide. Don't you see? This is Haile Selassie, Leopold Senghor. These are African rulers.
Hey,
here.
This nigga is in the deep end.
And the Masons that you.
He grabbing for anything. This nigga's grabbing for water.
What you're looking at, dear brother?
Somebody save him. Somebody save him.
Make an argument.
This ain't
because all that's left is foolishness and the ridiculous word salad that you have.
Oh man, somebody save that man.
All right, man.
Oh, this. Hey man,
I just got sidetracked. Is this the second round coming up?
Third round.
Hey man, it need to be the
this is the third round.
Third round.
Okay, Chief, it's on you. The time will start when you start, brother. This is the third and final round. Let's go.
Man, I'm so pissed off. I thought I was coming out here to debate Jabari. I'm hearing all this, he this good, he this and that. This what y'all got me out here for? Really? Nothing. And then I came out here and steamrolled him. He don't even know what happened to him, right? He gonna have to go play this back in the morning. He woke up and he down 2 already. First off, see, only a colonizer will come to you and tell you who you are after you done told them who they were. They came out here and presented evidence. I didn't want to speak for myself. I got my family to speak for us. Okay, and told you the importance of it. My auntie's 63 years old. Her grandma took her. We have land. We have land in Louisiana, Texas, also South Carolina. We have land in the land in Louisiana. They sent her out there in the we have burial grounds. Sent out there in the burial grounds. She had to jot all that down and came in and gave her a lesson. She's been holding on to that, and that's why she teach us the importance of this. And that way, can't nobody come tell you. See, I don't have to worry about what picture you pulled up of American Indian. I got Big Mama right here.
Bloodline.
Okay, I got Big Mama right here.
Hey,
he said he hope I believe in DNA. Why would I believe in DNA? And that's a tool that the colonizer used. That shit's so fake. Okay, where did that come from?
I told you it was a setup.
The Royal Society is the oldest. It's the oldest scientific institute here. And you know who it was created? They got their charter in 1660 by King Charles II. Okay, it is the oldest. I turned up one time, what they say, Pan-Africans fake DNA. I was hoping you would come here with that bullshit. Again, the African Association.
I told you.
They created the African Association September the 24th. Where did they get it from? Well, the African Association changed its name, family. What did they change their name to? They changed their name to the Royal Geographical Society of London. Okay, this is the union of the African Association and the Royal How about you screenshot that since you want to screenshot shit? Screenshot that. And you know who worked for them? Charles Darwin. This is where your out of Africa theory gonna come out.
Facts.
Okay, from these colonizers. Okay,
I knew he walked into that trap.
Program. His son was over this. He was the president of the Royal Geographical Society, and he also was over the British eugenics. Okay, and then Pan-Africanism, they side by side with that white boy. Again, like I said, that African Association was the African Association, and later here comes Sylvester Williams, because y'all changed to the Royal Geographical Society. He come pick it up right after the Berlin Conference, and oh yeah, and I wasn't wrong. He talking about, I said, I meant the Berlin, not the Brussels. Well, I thought he knew his history, okay? Because before the Brussels, before the Berlin,
he didn't know his shit.
And before
that's why he was so stunned. He was fucked up.
African Association, okay? And that was also by Leopold too. Get your bars up. Get your
bars up, nigga.
Clean up on all four.
That Pan-African shit dead.
You've been getting it working down too. Okay, where did this come from? Who they want us to follow? Just like a Pan-African, they want us to follow the white folks.
Facts.
Okay, in 1987, now
I told y'all. I told y'all they over there laughing. The Pan-Africans is embarrassed.
Mark and Allen published mitochondrial DNA and human evolution. This is where your out of Africa, your Eve theory, DNA mitochondria come from them. And all of them, guess what? Allen, top ranking out of the society, the Royal Society. All of this shit here is by plan to go back to their colony. Listen, King Charles II that signed that charter for them, he owns the Royal African Company. Ask Jabari, why do all of the companies with Africa on it come out of London? Okay, here go this Rick Kittles. He just brought up this shit. This is African DNA shit, right? Well, he got the African burial ground that he brought up. Well, Howard got a 24 million, went from 2.2 to $24 million budget to turn this Indian burial site. It's European and Indian, okay? Because when they first got there, they needed a buffer between the Indians and them, and they gave it to Portuguese because you had the Dutch West Indies Company who settled up there. And claim me if you want to, we got the burial. We got the we know who they gave it to. The captains. They were melanated. They called them free Negroes. Now he brought up this fake ass Sankofa. It's the burial ground right here. Now watch what they say. There has been, now they got this fake ass Sankofa symbol on there, right? Now on the burial ground, it say there has also been some inconsistencies regarding the Sankofa. Okay, now hold on, where is it? The wood coffin. Now this is what they say. It can be safely concluded, an expert in African art at Howard, right? Another HBCU named after O.O. Howard, a white boy. Stop it, Quaker shit. And it said it was a Sankofa. But watch this here. The burial ground said in 2006 reports rendered that hold on, let me come down. Dr. Seaman finds several problems with the Sankofa identification. He writes, there is no evidence that the clout even existed in the 18th century. Earliest surviving example of the Dinka crop. And now come down here, they also chose the Michael Blaise, scientific director of the African Burial Ground, oversee it. They also say that the burial ground, look right here, the burial ground say they are no longer saying that it is, they are no longer saying, okay, so although Siri say African Project backed away from this. So the African burial ground backed away from saying it was Sankofa, okay? And they said, stating only that the design has been interpreted as a Sankofa. Get out of here with that fake ass shit. They interpret it as a Sankofa. There's nothing in Africa for you. Jabari trying to take y'all back to Africa, these Pan-Africans, been trying to get you away from your land and take you back to Africa to go there and do what? Because they don't have nothing for you. They don't have no plan for you. You're going to go there as cheap labor the same way they've been doing you here since they've been out of their Negro conventions. Let's listen to this Pan-African lady. Somebody asked the question, African Americans would like land to start their own country in Africa. Is that possible? Listen to what these Pan-Africans say and tell me, do they want you in their country?
One continent, speaking with one voice. My hope is when the protocols are cleared and are inclusive of descendants of slaves, African Americans should be free to pick up and say, where I want to live on the continent. Why would you want to be given land when me, the continental African, I'm not being given land?
Now, the people ask them, can we get land? If we come back, y'all give us all these wonderful, glorious ass stories telling us this our land, this our home, is this, that. Oh, y'all heard them popping that shit. But then we ask for some land. Can we have some and we go back? Oh, we ain't got nothing. Why would I give you land when I ain't got no land? Continental Africans ain't got no land. But damn, is we the redhead stepchild with the flu? Or is we really your brothers and sisters that shit y'all running around here selling? Hell nah, we dollar signs to y'all. Dollar signs, that's it.
Doesn't make any sense. Let's be realistic here.
Man, he is killing this nigga.
We start giving land to African Americans and no land for the people within that.
Y'all hear that? What president ain't right, man? But damn, y'all come tell us we your brother and sister. The year of return, you want us to spend money to come to your dungeon and shit that you ran with the British? It's insane. Acting like Africans didn't sell the slaves that left out of the motherfucker. Like y'all, if people in the diaspora are Africans, look how disrespectful. First they sell you off to the white man, and then when you want to come back, you gotta pay for it. They ain't got nothing for it. Why would I give you something? Listen to him.
You can't own land in Africa for 99 years. Shit.
You honestly think someone coming from the United States is more entitled to compensation in the form of land, or some have been asking for mineral concessions and not the old lady in the village?
Facts.
Come on now, let's
2 minutes. 2 minutes.
ask for something. Let's be realistic. Let's not come up and go against
Be realistic.
the program.
The program. What's the program, y'all? Colonization. You ain't even got your own mind, thoughts, and heart out there. They already got you set up for what they want you to do, and that's labor.
All of us to speak with one voice and come home to our Africa. Now, what you further divide yourself, you are feeding yourself into the same mentality from the colonizers, from the slave master of divide and conquer.
The slave master divide and conquer, but I got to come work for you. You don't want me to work for the slave master and the conqueror, but you want me to work for you. Africa has not put out, Pan-Africa has not put out a plan for us. They haven't done nothing for you. Look how long they've been around. They've been feeding you this back to Africa shit. They had the AME church on you. They brought you your Jesus. They brought you that's why all of your pastors, all of your leaders in our community is pastors and masons. Okay, it started from these people who said that you should leave America and go to Africa. Okay, that was the origins of the Pan-African movement. Started after the Scramble of Africa, became the African Association, which was to discover the interior parts of Africa. They went there to colonize. Again, Jabari has not brought in his voices tonight. Jabari has not told us how do he fit in as an African in this story. He haven't showed us nothing. Came here to preach, and he got his ass tore off the bone by letting
that nigga Texas. That nigga on that Texas.
American Indian no more. Get that Pan-African.
That shit up out of here, nigga.
That nigga over there
Get
Texas.
that bullshit up out of here.
What's wrong with
Jabari on the phone like, I need help.
Cheap labor and how dare you come out here?
He don't know they showing his screen.
So we got to go there and be second-class citizens. Is what you're telling us? This back to Africa movement that they've been kicking are Christians, and they've been working alongside the colonizers this whole time. And goddamn, their ass been exposed tonight. Legendary Big Chief Topcatz. That's my motherfucking time.
Man, do you talk your shit, Topcatz? Bloodline. Bloodline is the word tonight, nigga. Bloodline. You have
All right,
you have
brother
not
Jabari,
shown
this is the last and final round. Then we're gonna get into some question
how
and
you
answer.
fit into this African
Oh,
story.
man, Topcat ain't come to play.
He ain't come to play with you,
what you say?
Jabari.
Hold on.
Topcat
He
ain't
sure
come to
didn't,
play.
Jabari. He didn't
You
come
have
to
not
play.
shown
Jabari,
how
your
you
screen
fit
frozen?
into this African
Ah,
story
he
yet.
said, hey, he said, Jabari, your screen frozen? That nigga heart
Bloodline. Look
Show
at
something
Jabari.
here.
His heart
Hey,
frozen.
Here we go.
All right, chill. Put your phone on mute. Put it on
He
mute, brother.
killed you with bloodline out the
Top
gate.
You need to
Yeah.
be quiet. You know, I'm really surprised
When you're
that
ready, I can start
Said
the
they
time.
both stunned.
yeah, you can go ahead and start.
Okay.
I'm really surprised that someone who has not made an argument is acting like he actually has done something.
This dude is delusional.
Yeah.
Even if he
sound like a
believes
Christian
that
right
there's
now.
something wrong
I
with
told
the
you they all got
African
mental problems.
colonization society.
Yes.
He sounds just
What
like a
does
Christian
that
right now.
have to do with this argument? How does that make him a Native American?
This is all he did the
How
whole
does he
time was
then
ask
discount?
questions.
How does he then
That's
discount
what Sanchez did.
all of DNA research,
Facts. That's
all
what I'm
of the
talking
history, all of those individuals who are of critical importance in our
Said
community,
Jabari.
That's
who have done the
cold-blooded, bro.
work,
Look
done
at
the
him.
study, and then he has the nerve. By the way, Big Chief, I'm going to tell you that you said that you're upset. You actually played someone that I know well.
Omega Ray.
I know you don't know who you were playing. Her name is Ambassador Aracana. I will be meeting with her next week.
And she said
Whoop
what
this-
she
Did not
said,
let
nigga.
her
Whoop this
explain what she
dude.
was talking
Fuck
about.
that mean?
You played
She
her for a
said
few
what she
seconds, and then you
said.
put your own commentary in. I work with Ambassador Aracana. Ambassador Aracana, Jabari Osaze, and Anika Daniels Osaze are going to be installed in the same ceremony.
And what, nigga?
On December 11th.
And that
I
means
know
what?
her well.
So?
And so I'm not sure how you got so confused. Let me show you a few really quick things. First of all,
She said what she said.
I'm not at home. I wish I was.
Your homegirl
Because
said
one
what
of the
she
things
said.
that I would do, he seems to want me to prove my African lineage.
Facts.
And that's really bizarre.
No,
One of the
it's not.
challenges that he'll
How's that
continue
bizarre?
to have is that he's going to have to
Bloodline, nigga.
understand that when we talk about people of African descent
That shit
and
still.
we look at
That nigga went to
DNA,
23andMe.
he would like us to believe that DNA is ridiculous, but DNA is in fact a science that will help us understand and link ourselves to other people. So this is just one of the DNA services that Jabari has used. This is Ancestry.com.
No, it just compares you to
Why I
other
use
people.
Ancestry
this
is
nigga.
because they can connect you to a
Does he not
large
know
number
DNA
of
just
people
compares you to other
who
people?
you may not know.
Entertainment
I want you to look at
purposes
this
only.
over
What is it?
300. I'm gonna just scroll down really quickly because I also don't want to jeopardize their
She say
privacy.
he's sleep talking.
But when you go down there, you're going to see that there are over 400 people who actually are my relatives.
Oh, this was
And Sonetta, something
slaughter.
interesting happened when I took the test. It
This
came back
wasn't
and it
just an
said to
ass
me,
whooping.
this
This
is
was
your
a
first to
slaughter.
second cousin. This is Maria Ricardo. Maria Ricardo actually is my father's niece. I didn't know she did the test. She didn't know I did the test. Ancestry.com told me correctly, by the way, that Maria Ricardo
That's a goddamn shame. You could just pick up.
This.
I want you to
This nigga
understand
is
This
reaching
good,
for
though.
he reaching for
That
anything right now.
actually is a
Grasping.
science.
Get all these niggas out of here.
I'm not sure why he thinks it isn't. Well, I do know why he thinks it isn't. He thinks it isn't because he knows what, when he does his DNA, what it will find, and he does not want you to
He said
actually look at
ancestry,
that.
bro.
But the reality is, this brother is an African, a confused African, but an African.
What?
I want you to see that if DNA was not correct, how did they tell me who my first and second cousin was? We didn't.
It's not
check
saying
with
it's
each
fucking
other.
completely.
I didn't know she
incorrect.
did the test. She didn't know I did the test.
And that's not
And
digging
there are
into
others that I have
generations.
reached out to on that list.
Fuck out of here.
And it only
DNA
shows
is,
you
in fact,
people that could be your
science.
bloodline. It
Now,
don't.
I'm not saying it's a perfect science. There are
'Cause
things
it's
that
not.
we've learned about DNA and trying to connect people's lineages.
Your
And I
bloodline
think
is
that
a
some
perfect
of the
science,
science
though.
is even better than it was earlier, but that's how science works.
Your bloodline is a perfect
The
science.
reality is that when we do DNA studies of people of African descent, we see that very little of their DNA is actually, very little of their DNA is actually native. I'm going to show you this paper again. Why? Because
That's he's
Big Cat, he
confused. He
says I
always
didn't show you
hollering
a
native.
source.
He
In
don't know the
actuality, I
difference.
showed you a
That's
bunch
I
of
the
told
thing.
y'all
sources. He just
they do
doesn't
that
like
shit on
the
purpose, though.
sources. This is a scholarly article, and I want you to see it again. The average African American genome, for example, is 73.2% African, 24% European, and 0.8% Native American. 0.8% Native American.
This nigga,
That's what you're seeing.
this nigga
Belief
is
is a
in the,
motherfucker, ain't it?
You're seeing
this
that
nigga
when
is
we
in
do
the
the science,
he in
we
the deep
find that
end and he
these
is reaching for
confused
water,
Africans are just
trying
that,
not to
confused
drown.
Africans. And he would like to actually speak ill of Africans who did important work, who tried to actually reconnect us to Africa by saying that they were Christian. I'm sorry. Most Black people in the United States are Christian.
Oh man, this nigga Jabari.
This was a tradition that was given to us by our slaveholders.
This nigga got his
This
ass.
nigga
There
in
are many
12th
of
grade.
us who are finding our ways back into other traditions.
This nigga got his
But
ass.
simply
whooped.
because they're Christian, especially during the time period that he's referring to, what does that mean?
Hey, Topcatz didn't even
I
respect
bet
that
you
nigga
his
to stay on the
grandmama was
camera.
Christian. The same one that he's mentioning. What is he talking about?
Topcatz was like, I'm
By
out,
the way,
man. I'll
this
come
is
back
the
in a minute.
truth.
That nigga got
This is
dressed
the
up and
truth
shit for this.
about Africa. Let me
Look at him looking like a sweet.
I don't know. If, I
A
know
sweet
he doesn't know this,
auntie.
but take a look at this
Oh man, this is
screen as
crazy.
well. He's saying that Africans cannot get free land. I don't know if he knows who he's talking to.
Where's the violence?
Please look at this.
Hey,
Right, AP.
This is
Hey,
the house that Anika
Sanetta over there like, man.
That nigga like, I'm about to pay for that
It will be
shit.
done by the end of the year.
Sanetta is over there
But
like,
we put
nigga.
this house in Ghana,
So
in
they don't want him
the
to shut
Sable
up.
region, and we got what, Sonetta?
Sanetta like, nigga.
Man, Ghana almost
As
killed me.
diasporan
Fuck Ghana.
Africans, we got the land. We did pay builders to build the house, but we got the land.
No, you don't. You're a 99-year
He's saying
lease.
that
You're a goddamn
Africans
lie.
that-
You do not
that
have that
folks are saying
land.
that
You
you
cannot
cannot get
own
free
land
land.
there. I
Who
know.
told him that? Here goes even an a description. Look at this. This is in the Washington Post. Recent article, by the way.
And
Hey,
you
this
can
debate was
never,
close,
July
never,
4th,
ever,
2020.
ever own
This
land
debate
Ghana
there.
to
going-
Black
this
Americans.
debate
Come
going
home.
down in
We'll help
history.
you build a life here.
Sure is.
This
I
is
want
yes.
you to recognize
You're
that
absolutely
Ghana
correct.
and other African nations have been saying
Get this
for a long
Pan-African
time,
shit
They
out
got
of
if
here.
you return
exposed.
African, diasporan Africans, we will help you return. Look at this.
Where the hell
The
that nigga
government has
Taz at?
negotiated with local chiefs an earmark of 500 acres of
Let me see
land
if
near
Taz
the
over in that
nation's
chat.
center for newcomers, carving out enough space for about 1,500 families. I want you to understand
You can't
that that
ever
number
own land there.
has
And that
increased.
nigga know that.
I'm trying to see
That
this.
if you actually return to the
That man
continent,
retarded,
Look,
boy.
they
you
over in
will
his chat
actually
like,
be able
stop
to
it, Jabari.
set
They said they said Jabari is
By the way,
deflecting big time.
what if, for example, if people on the continent didn't want you to have your roots there?
They is over
What
here
if you had to
clowning
fight
this
with
nigga.
continental Africans for your birthright? What would that matter? That doesn't mean that you're not an African.
Hey, they is clowning this nigga.
He
That
about to
doesn't mean
get
you're not
drunk
an
after
African,
this.
even if continental Africans didn't want you to return.
Hey, man,
that doesn't change who you
I'm
are.
about to cash app
They don't get
Sanetta.
to erase your birthright.
Job,
You are who you are.
Jabari never showed
And you ain't who
lineage
you
or
ain't.
bloodline.
I don't
Never.
know.
I'm about-
Topcatz feeling
And he
good
said
right
a lot
now.
of things.
Hey, man. Hey, man.
Killed that nigga.
I'm
I
about to
want
go.
you to take the
No, I'm about to go
pigeon
cash.
feathers
I'm about
off
to
of
go
your
cash
head
app Topcatz.
and be clearer about who you
Throw
are.
something in that nigga cash app.
Look at that
You know
messy
you won when
dress
you
he
see
got
that.
on, Sonetta. Come
He
on
laughing.
now.
Oh,
And
man.
let's go further. He showed us something about Sankofa, saying that scholars were saying,
How was
well,
your whole
maybe
debate
that
about what
symbol
he
was
showed
not
you?
properly used. What does that symbol? What does that
This
symbol
nigga
have to
is
do
lost.
with you being an African?
Yeah, it would definitely.
Even if they
It would
said,
definitely
well,
be a
maybe
pity
the symbol we
payment.
saw was not a Sankofa. What does that have to do with you being an African? You are not making arguments.
He
You're
killed
not
you with
making
the argument,
arguments.
brother.
Man.
He killed you with the argument. He
And
slayed
I
you.
really think that what you have
Hey,
done,
and
you should
y'all
have
know
stayed up all
Topcatz
night.
gonna
You should have been
recap this
asleep.
shit, right?
Oh, you
You should have
know
been
he
asleep.
We gonna have a
is.
ball. We gonna have a ball with this
Because
shit.
you've wasted
this
your
gonna be
time.
funny.
You've wasted my time, and you've wasted the
You
audience's time.
Topcatz.
You've ignored all the sources I've showed. You haven't even addressed any of them.
Hey, look at this. Jabari has not
You
shown
said,
his
well,
lineage.
some of these
Topcatz
people he mentioned want to go back to
destroyed
Africa.
that clown.
So,
He
What's the
sure
key
did.
word, y'all?
these people
Bloodline.
are Christians.
Blood.
So what?
Genealogy.
What
Bloodline.
does that have to do with
Genealogy.
anything?
And he taught Jabari some
He's
shit
even
too.
trying to say I
He taught
went
that
to
nigga some shit too.
HBCU. Anyone in the room knows I didn't. But even if I did, so what? These are not arguments.
Jabari,
You're not
you
putting
arguing,
forth
baby.
a
You ain't
coherent
even
argument.
proved one thing. Not at all. Not tonight.
Profanity and words
Yep.
which don't fit together.
Hey,
in
they
the
not
same
arguments.
sentence.
They facts.
Oh, man.
They facts, bro.
So now
That
we gotta
man
step up
showed
the opponents.
proof. Topcatz came
We
with his
have
game
to.
tonight,
He came
baby.
Because the
out the
people
gate
deserve
with it,
Coming
too.
better.
prepared.
Take this dude's pigeon head wrap off and let's talk about some real stuff.
Like he trying to talk about that man head wrap. Don't do that. That's
Yeah.
out
That
of
nigga got hurt,
order.
bro. That nigga
That
hurt.
was a flawless victory right there. 3-0.
3-0.
All right, hold on,
3-0.
Topcat.
3-0.
All right, man. Damn, man.
Yeah.
It's going down. It's going down. It's going down.
So I
Easy
netted on
work.
it.
All right, so we are at the question and answer mark right now. I'm going to allow Brother Jabari to ask you 2 questions. I'm going to allow you, Topcat, to ask Jabari 2 questions. But before I allow y'all to ask each other questions, I got to come in with the first question. My question for you, Brother Topcat. How do you prove who you are? How do you prove that you are an American Indian
That's a
without
dumbass
DNA?
question.
And the reason I'm asking you this is because if I was to go on all you guys' platform, you, the Hebrew Israelites, the Moors, and all these other people
No,
that say,
no,
"Oh,
that
I
is-
don't
that
use
is
no
Yes, the
DNA."
true
Totally
history is often
I will
hidden. So we'll come
guarantee
out
you.
the champion
They
of
are
history.
I will
religious.
see you using, not when I say you, I'm talking about the groups that I said. I will see you using DNA to get evidence on something or to do research because he who
No, we
does
use our
not
we use our family, nigga.
DNA.
It's different.
What kind of
Facts. It's been
research,
oral
Nigga, I know who I
history
that
for
you
came
us.
bringing to the people? You got to deal with DNA. If you calling yourself a historian, if you calling yourself a researcher, if you calling yourself to bring the information to the people, if you're not
I'm
using
calling myself
DNA,
my family, bro.
how can we trust your information? So my question to you, my brother, is how do you prove that you are an African, that you are an Indian American? How do you prove that without using DNA?
Genealogy.
I'm gonna be like you said. Give me about 30 seconds.
I had to go and prove my great grandparents
Bloodline.
who their parents were. So they made me go back 6 generations
Oral history.
in order to
Family.
clear the property in Louisiana. That's a long time.
Yeah.
So they kind of got mad because most black people don't know. But since I have been studying this, and my grandmother made me do it since I was 17 years old, I do it. So they couldn't trick me on nothing. You see?
Yeah.
If they can trick you, that's how the white man steals. And that's how they have been able to steal. Because if they can trick you and say, it's a loophole right here, well, you can't prove that you know it's your great grandfather, but where's the grandparent? And you still with
Okay, brother. I'm gonna ask you again because I couldn't really hear that clear. So, how do you prove that you are an American Indian without DNA? How do you prove that?
Yes, sir. All right, great question. Well, that was my aunt right there. She's 63 years old, and she was just explaining to the people how at the age of 17, on our land, she was explaining that she had to just turn the land over into this generation. Land been in our family almost 200 years. So she had to go through 6 generations to prove to the state of Louisiana. She had to go through 6 generations and prove, document after document, paperwork. I got pictures of the big box to prove who her family was in order for them to succeed to have a land cession to bring the land over to the next generation, or else they was gonna take it because they've been wanting this property for a long time. What happens is her grandma sent her out there in that grave site and had her jot down all of these people's names, her and her cousin at the age of 17. She's 63 today. And so we know who we are because the bodies are still there. On my mom's side, Cherokee Indian out of Central Texas right there. We still have our land there to this day. My grandpa was the first black man to
That
drive
truth
buses
hurt
in
their ass. Boy, that
Houston.
shit hurt.
Killing them.
My family is on the Alabama Casada
It still comes down to
my
bloodline.
Papa Charlie fell down the well at the age of 49 and broke his neck. He was born and buried right there on the Alabama Casada.
Them bodies still there.
On my grandma and daddy's side. I mean, yeah, okay, because Jabari said we have more than one ancestor, and I wanted to go through my whole list because.
But hold on, brother. You do know that that's not no proof, right? Everything that you just said, you do. Hold on.
Is he moderating?
You do know that you have not proved anything. Everything you said was hearsay and dad said this and he said that.
Like the Pan-African shit.
I asked you the question.
What is the Pan-African shit?
Oral history.
What's the Pan-African shit?
Man.
Hearsay shit.
When you hear brothers say, talk about Africans and say things like, well, you know, the Africans don't want us. Listen to what they say. They saying bad things about us over here. I do want to let you know, Jabari, that we do the same thing to them over there. If you listen to African Americans over here, we say the same bad stuff about them. So what I'm saying to you is both sides is confused. Both of us are lost. Both of us still suffer slavery syndrome. Both of us, we have been stripped of knowledge.
Y'all lost.
So
right.
talk to us, brother, about
y'all lost in America.
Africans. What do you think about brothers who talk bad about Africa? How does that make you feel when you see young brothers doing it too? And not only is they young brothers, but they got a following. Topcatz got a following. The legendary Topcatz got a following.
We don't hate Africans.
And there's a lot of people that follow this good brother. How does that make you feel, brother?
Honestly, son, that it pains me.
Because you a hoe. You a bitch ass hoe.
Because you got that ass with it.
Like
why he didn't ask him to prove his
African content?
He didn't care bear. He didn't care bear.
The content that is the most mineral wealth, the most mineral rich continent on the planet, the continent that actually
prove you African, nigga.
The world.
Answer that question.
It really pains me when I hear people say that, and I get to the point where I have to actually acknowledge that I have traveled on the African continent for 20 years, over 20 years. I know that Topcatz has probably never been to the continent of Africa.
Don't make you African.
I've traveled to the continent for over 20 years. I have business partners on the African continent. I have friends. I have family on the African continent. And on December 11th, Jabari Osaze will be named a chief in the Cebu region of Ghana. I want you to be clear that
it's always Ghana.
We must do, son, that is we have to get back
the corporation Ghana.
It's always Ghana.
Just as we were the victims of enslavement, so many on the continent were victims of colonialism.
That's the African United States.
Some who have misunderstandings, confusion about who the diaspora African are. But whose responsibility is it to reclaim and to repair the actual fractures that have occurred in the family? We have to do that. And we're going to have to go back further than 200 years. Topcatz doesn't even realize, I'm coming to the end here, he doesn't even realize that the piece that he played doesn't even help his argument. He says that his aunt said that he had to go back 200 years. That would take you back to 1821. That would take you back to 1821. Are you listening to yourself?
All right, hold on. That's enough. I got another powerful scholar in here in the chat. He go by the name of Ismail Bey. And Ismail Bey, I think Ismail Bey said something that's false. He said DNA cannot be used by law. Now, I don't know what he's talking about because that's all they use in the courtroom is DNA evidence.
Not for generational.
Saying maybe he could call it in and explain more.
Not to go back
Top
deep
Cat,
in generations.
I want to give you the floor, my brother, and you can ask Jabari a question, and I'm going to put a time limit on it. of 2 minutes to answer the question because I see where this will go. This will be a long answer.
It probably will.
All right.
It probably will.
What would y'all like, Topcat? 2 or 3 minutes? Talk to me.
3.
All right, 3 minutes. You got 3 minutes to answer it. Brother, you got the floor. You can ask Jabari a question.
All right, Jabari, do you have family in the South?
Yes.
Do you mind me asking? What part? Do you mind
I have
me
family that I'm not sure if I understand what you're asking. You're asking where they live in the South?
Yes, sir. What part of the South are they from?
Okay. I have family in South Carolina, North Carolina, Atlanta, Florida. I have family all over the South, actually.
All right. And are they all African?
The people that I call family.
Do I start the time now or what, brother? Because you asking them, you're gonna ask them a question.
Questions too. They're African.
Okay, I'm gonna start the time now because you asking them series of questions.
Okay,
it was like I said, I wanted to get to the question.
Okay, go ahead. That's what I was wondering. Go ahead, brother.
Go ahead.
No, it's on you.
Well, yes, they are, and I showed this before. I actually have just a screenshot of it. I wish I could show more. It's going to only take a second. I showed this before. I want you to recognize that. Are you seeing this screen, Sonetta?
Not yet.
Okay, give me 1 sec. Oh yeah, I have to do one thing. Okay. You know, Jabari Osaze is an unusual person because I am actually able to trace myself back directly to the continent. We have a lot of
I see the screen.
You see it, right?
Yes.
We have a lot of family there.
If everybody African, why is that usually?
Yeah, well, let me finish. I don't know if the audience is.
Yeah, but this not
as you look at this, you'll actually see that I can trace myself directly back to the continent of Africa. And I know that you think that we're just doing DNA. We're not. We're not just doing DNA. Here goes my father here. And here I am here. They misspelled my name. Gambo.
It's the same shit he
Jabari
showed
Gamba
for Phoenix
Osase,
Moon.
Born March 25th, 1972.
He showed the same shit.
So what I want you to recognize is I am able to actually trace myself directly back to the continent of Africa. I know that there are a lot of folks that might not be able to do that, but I think that DNA is helpful as well.
Okay.
All right.
All right. So my question would be this: then, how important is bloodline?
Bloodline
and Pan-Africanism, or in just what you think?
All right. The time starts.
Well, brother, when you say he's asked me a lot of questions, by the way, son.
No. This is a question. No, I wanted to try to get to know you. Try to get
help me, son. Help me.
You say so, I have no problem talking back and forth with you. I just hope he's going to give me as much time to talk to you as well. When you say bloodline, I want you to understand that when I show you a lineage, I'm in fact showing you a bloodline. And when they take your DNA, they're in fact looking at your DNA. I know you're calling it bloodline, but there's no difference between your bloodline, your family tree, and DNA. Those are not different things. These are different ways for us to arrive to the same place, to find out who you were related to. And I'm going to say to you that that list that you just saw goes back a lot further than 200 years. You gave us 200 years. 200 years would put you in the middle of the transatlantic enslavement trade. There were certainly Africans who intermarried with Native people. I'm not questioning that. I'm questioning your fundamental assertion about whether we are not African and that we are actually the native. But there were certainly Africans who intermarried. And I'm going to say something to you, Topcat. There were people in my family who intermarried with Native Americans. You'd actually see that if you looked at my DNA. But I'm not saying to you that that you're actually not seeing an African in front of you. You're seeing an African who has a wide blend of DNA. And that blend occurred when my family was taken from the continent and mixed with other people that were found in the Caribbean, that were found in the American South, and found in other places. I have family in all of those places. You know, I said at one point, and I think this might be why he asked this question, Sondena. I said at one point on your channel that my mother is from Guyana and my father has family in the Bahamas. And they thought that that meant that I did not have any family in the American South. I think this comes to a fundamental confusion that I see so many people. I'm going with the time, brother. You gave me 3 minutes to answer. I actually think that this is a fundamental confusion that we see with people in some communities. I have 4 grandparents, 4, and 8 great-grandparents. They come from different places. That's how lineage works. Showing us one auntie or one grandmother doesn't tell us that you're a Native American. I don't even know if you understand how lineage works.
Nigga, you got one mama.
You would have to show me it on all 4 of your grandparents or all 8 of your great-grandparents to make the argument you're making. And you certainly would have to go beyond 200 years. That just means that somebody, if we believe that, and I don't know if I do.
Has he shown us how we African yet?
Who was an enslaved African married with someone who was Native. That doesn't say that you're not an African.
He ain't showing
what
one
it does
source
mean is,
either.
once again, you're a confused African.
How are we all African? Is what I'm trying to find out.
He showed not
right,
one
Brother
source.
Jabari.
And he didn't show his
There it is, the
lineage.
time.
He
Brother
lose.
Jabari,
how are we
I would
all
like
African?
for you to ask Topcatz a series of questions and let me know when you want me to start the time.
Hey, hold on. Do I get to respond to that?
No, sir. It's
Okay,
his
okay.
time to ask you the question, brother.
Why he can't respond?
Lucky you, Jabari.
First of all, I want to ask, Brother Topcat, have you ever traveled to the continent of Africa?
Yes.
Yes, sir, I have.
Where did you go in the continent of Africa?
I've been in Nigeria before and in the Middle East.
Okay. You went to Nigeria to look for, what were you in Nigeria and the Middle East for?
I have friends in Africa. Yeah.
Okay. That's interesting. I'm glad that you've actually.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, say again?
I was living in the UAE last year as well. So, yeah, I know a lot of Africans.
The UAE is not.
You thought he ain't been over
Africa
there.
can't keep their people there. UAE full of Africans.
Okay. Brother Topcat, there are people from all other ethnicities all over the world, brother. They're all over the world. I don't know.
So are you
Africa
asking me
can't
questions
keep
or are you
their
arguing?
people there. What does
The Nigerian government, the piece that you read, Nigeria also, they also made people money out there. That's why they're trying to bring them in. Listen, the conversation that kind of
you're not answering a question, though. You're not answering a question.
What was the question?
You trying to argue?
My
nigga?
question, I asked you a few questions.
You asked him, did he go to Africa? He said, yeah.
Here's another question I want you to answer. If in fact you have one grandparent who is of Native parentage, how can you prove that that grandparent is actually not someone who was an African who intermarried into natives that were here, and in fact was a Native American that was here prior to colonialization?
How do you
prior
prove
to
it was?
How are you
I was just thinking that, bro.
That grandparent did that. And what about the rest of your 4 grandparents that you need to explain?
What makes you think his grandparents is African?
Yeah, so the clock.
Has any African?
I'm starting the clock now.
All right, turn on one time. I'll work easy work, bro. I thought Jabari really had some.
Right.
This has been a cakewalk. Anyway, how can I, first off, nobody's African. If we were African, we would know. We have our burial grounds. If we were African, we would know. But see, the colonizer in you keeps telling you that I'm African.
Right.
That is a colonizer tactic.
Right.
Okay? Just like they told you the white man called you a nigga, he put the Negro on you, put all this on you, put all these titles on you. Jabari and these Pan-Africans are trying to put African titles on you. Okay? Listen, they try to make it like it's so hard. When I know who my mother is, I know my father, I know my grandparents, they know their mothers, their fathers, they ain't nobody crazy. But the colonizer will try to make you think you're crazy. Then you gotta be what he say you are. And what his science tells you. The reality of the fact is, if people come from the people in the South, growing up in the South, your family told you who the hell you were. We just met the colonizer recently. My family fought against
and we
US.
didn't mix.
You're not talking to somebody who don't know what's going on. We fought against US. I just put Osceola and the Seminoles on the screen. Okay? The colonizer will try to make you think you crazy. But your family told you when you were young who you were. A lot of us even know what tribe. But when you went into these systems, this white man system, this Pan-African system, they told you you were African.
Right.
Ain't nobody in America, ain't nobody parents in their house.
Ain't nobody in your family told you you was African.
Part of one of these goddamn colonizer movies. Okay? Now that is a fact. Okay, so that's how I know that ain't nobody slept with no African. And I don't have no problem with no Africans, bro, but that's what I'm saying. My WhatsApp is full of Africans. Cameroon, all of that, Uganda. I'm fucking with them. They love me. You know what I'm saying? I text them, I love them.
And why they don't?
This
Why
ain't
they act
that.
like we don't know some Africans?
It ain't no
No
self-hating,
Africans,
nothing.
not us.
It's the fact that indigenous people around the planet can't be indigenous people ever since colonization. They got this title Africa thrown on them. From the Southeast to everything. They come here with this slave story narrative. Where's the African culture at in America then?
Where's the
Where
culture?
you at? You had the 13 colonies. We're going to do U.S. expansions. What port you came through? If people was really from all these places, don't nobody have no memory of who they were.
Nobody?
What port did you come through? Prove it. Stand on
Okay.
it. Yeah,
Can I ask you another question?
No, Jabari. No,
Jabari, you embarrassing us.
Finish.
I know it hurts.
You embarrassing us, Jabari. No, you can't answer.
Mr. Colonizer, we're not going in your change. Okay, we're fighting against your U.S. expansion and this African mindset that y'all trying to colonize our people with. We know goddamn well who our mothers and fathers were, and our ancestors knew who they were, and they told us, and that's how the hell we know.
Talk your shit.
Get that colonizer shit out of here. Ain't nobody.
Shit out of here, nigga.
Stand on it. Prove it.
Talk your shit, Topcatz.
That part, nigga.
That's Jabari, your last question.
Okay.
No, Jabari, you can't answer no questions.
Where we gonna go with this?
You embarrassing us. No. Take that monkey shit off. You embarrassing us.
Right?
You want Jabari to go first?
I have a question I could ask you.
Okay. This nigga don't know what to do.
Ahead. Think about your question, Topcatz, brother.
Think about it.
Go ahead, brother.
Okay. I first of all, I need to say that wasn't an answer to my question, and I hope that you answer this one. The question I have here
stomach
is,
hurt.
You said that part of your family is Cherokee.
Yes, sir.
Can you please account for?
Don't get in trouble. I'm gonna tell you.
Hold on. I'm asking you a question. Hold on.
You got it.
Part of your family is Cherokee.
Yes,
Can you please account, if that is in fact your family, if that is in fact your nation, account for why the Cherokee enslaved the African, and tell me when you plan to pay us reparations.
This nigga don't walk into. He just walked into another trap.
All right, let him talk. Let him answer
He
the
just
question.
walked into another trap.
Topcatz, are you ready, Topcatz?
Here goes another trap.
All right.
All right, turn it one time. So we're gonna do it like this here. They run around here, the Cherokee. Who are the Cherokee, right? These people who they talking about. Let's go back to the late 1700s, George Washington Civilization Plan. That's where you get these 5 civilized powers from. 1791 Civilization Plan. It was Scottish Irish people who signed up under the jurisdiction of them. It was John Wyatt Jr. I'm gonna give you names. Okay, John Wyatt Jr. They came out of the Chickamauga tribe, right? This is their Confederate line gonna go through their Stanway. They gonna join the treaty party, right? His rival would be John Ross, who was a Scottish Irishman. Okay, his daddy name was Daniel Ross. They were Jacobites. They came here out of the Battle of Culloden, and they were exported over here by the French. I have the records on him, the boat that he came on and everything. He traveled out of Baltimore with those colonizers, came down, met a guy named John McDonald. John McDonald was married into a Cherokee woman, a black woman. That was the game. The Europeans would marry a black woman down in the South because we were a matrilineal society. So what happened? John McDonald, he give Daniel Ross his daughter to marry. They have a son called John Ross. He ruled the Cherokee Nation for 40 years. Anybody can pull this up. I'm naming names and dates. These are the people that will sign up with the Confederates. They will fight our people in the Battle of 1812. They will side with they will side with Andrew Jackson in the Battle of 1812. Also, that was 1811 was the year of the Creek War. The Creek Civil War was my people that was a part of the Red Sticks and then Yosemite. That's how me and Ishmael is related through that. All right, so let's walk. We're going to get down now. This is the 5 civilized tribes. All of them.
You're not answering the question.
The Cobra family, I'm answering the question. You just don't know history.
He don't know what you're talking about. He don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, so you got the Creek is William McIntosh. That's the McIntosh family. They are also Jacobites from the they were also prisoners of the Jacobites.
Yep.
So his father,
he asked that.
Chile McIntosh, and he also had Daniel McIntosh. They were signed up with the Confederates and forged over De La Hoya in the north, which were the Black Creeks. This was in the Civil War. Look up the trail of the blood, the trail of blood on ice. All right, they went and fought in the USCTs, the 1st and 2nd Infantry in Kansas and Fort Gibson. Okay, that was after they fought in Fort Gibson after the Seminole War. But these people were not our people. These were Scottish, Irish, European descent who signed up in 1794, created the Cherokee government. And these are the people who went under the jurisdiction of the Treaty of Hopewell. 1781.
They were not our people, nigga.
In 1791, the Treaty of Holston. 1794, the Treaty of Tellico. That's when they went under the jurisdiction under the U.S. Government. They became citizens in there.
Time.
That nigga could wait for that.
They were no people, nigga.
Time, brother. To bring clarity, did you just say that the Cherokees wasn't your people? They was like a white man or something? Just
they infiltrated.
The Scottish Irish people who was Indian agents, they end up coming into the tribes, and they end up. What they would do is the same thing they did in Africa.
No. Hold on, brother. I'm just asking you a question. Are you saying, brother, that the Cherokee people were not our people, your people? They was white people.
Nigga.
Yes, he's talking about once they were infiltrated, nigga.
Into the Cherokee tribes, and they used the kids as tools to get their sovereignty so they can sign treaties for the Indians. Yes, sir.
It's not hard to understand.
Treaty of
They acting like it though. They acting dumb.
Well, you know, you didn't answer the question, brother.
He hasn't answered any of the questions.
How does
no, you haven't answered.
Y'all get ahead. I'm gonna give y'all 5 minutes to go.
Let me see if I understand. Let me ask this another way, so that maybe
he's saying it was the other people that enslaved the Africans, not his people.
Maybe this is what you're trying to say. Are you trying to say that the Cherokees who enslaved Africans were not your people?
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. They done.
They were actually people who actually were not the Cherokee who enslaved Africans, but you are the real Cherokee. Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying ain't nobody enslaved no Africans. Prove it.
What?
Prove that those people were Africans. Ain't no what? Prove it. Instead of saying what, prove that those people were Africans. That's what I want you to do.
Okay.
And you can't. You don't give me an NBA, PC, or PBS.
Okay.
Or
this is from the Smithsonian Magazine. How Native American slaveholders complicate the Trail of Tears narrative.
And look who's telling the story.
I want you to recognize that he would like you to pretend that none of this actually happened.
Bro.
But the reality is, as one of the 5 quote-unquote civilized tribes, Native Americans did in fact enslave African people.
Civilized.
All right, so
Hold on, Topcatz.
The 5 civilized tribes were deeply committed, here it is right here, to slavery, established their own racialized black codes, immediately reestablished slavery when they arrived in Indian territory, rebuilt their nations with slave labor, crushed slave rebellions, and enthusiastically sided with the Confederacy in the Civil War. I think that what Topcatz is trying to say is that those people are not the real Cherokee. He's the real Cherokee. Is that what you're saying?
Boy, that's trash. And no, I said,
is that what you're saying?
I said, no, it's not. I said, go to that picture and you can find
Listen,
out.
Linda.
It is John Ross right there. Okay, a Scottish Irish. Go back to the picture.
Go back to the picture,
nigga. Okay, let's go back to the picture. Wait, let's go back to the picture. Let's go back to the picture.
I told you I was going to end up. I didn't know I was teaching class tonight. Y'all.
Let's go back to the picture. Let's go back to the picture.
You are teaching, brother. You teaching tonight.
I don't agree with what you're saying, but I
want to just say that then.
Just say you didn't know.
No. You're making
the truth. Don't care whether you agree or not.
But so you're saying here's wait, brother, hold on. You wanted me to go back to the picture, right? This is John Ross, the Cherokee chief, lionized for his efforts to fight.
So look at that chief. What is wrong with your body?
This is what you said your family did. They fought European expansion.
No, sir.
Was also an advocate and practitioner of slavery. So I'm trying to understand why are you saying wait a minute, I'm asking you brother, are you saying that the people who we say are Cherokees who enslaved people are not in fact the real Cherokees, that in fact your family is the real Cherokee?
Yes, sir.
Okay. That's what I'm trying to understand.
Now what?
How do you distinguish between
Now what?
I just
John
told
Ross
people,
and your family?
He told you they were infiltrated, nigga.
Look at that man, Jabari. You wrong for that.
It's Scottish Irish.
Yes, sir. He's Scottish, so he's not.
All right. Here we go. We up to the part now for the people to call it in, ask your questions. We not telling you to call in to teach. We already got the 2 teachers here. Call in, ask a question to whoever you want to ask your question to.
Topcatz
I'm not going to let you be long-winded. That goes for everybody. Call in, ask a question. This is not where you call in to debate the person.
Chief, we ought to call in and tell them all at one time.
What the hell is the number?
All right. Peace and Black Power family. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Yeah, y'all, we got to call in, man.
Peace. I'll be the guard, Rob Born, move to a lot.
Rob Born.
All right, Rob Born. You got to call. You got to ask your question.
What's the number?
Now, you can ask the question and call back in
mad.
later on, but I know a lot of people want to be calling it in.
What's the number?
Ask your question, brother.
Topcatz.
I don't know.
This letter that you're talking about.
We try to find the number, y'all.
Referred to the 3,000 people in Richard Allen's church who said they didn't want to go back to Africa. Can you please read the letter and tell the people why they said they didn't want to go?
They can't grow shit. I've been there. They can't grow nothing.
They're not African, brother.
He asked you, can you read the letter, brother? Can you read it, Topcatz?
Nah, I can't read. He should have came up here with it.
He can't. Oh, I got it right in front of me, brother.
Okay, well, we're going to hold on, Topcatz. If you don't want to read it, we're going to allow Rob Born to read it real quick. Yeah, Rob Born.
This is 1817, John 14 letter to Paul Cuffey. He said, indeed, the people of color here was very much frightened. At first, they were afraid that all the free people would be compelled to go, particularly the southern states. We had a large meeting of males at Reverend Allen's church the other evening. 3,000 at least attended, and there was not one soul that was in favor of going to Africa. They think that the slave holders want to get rid of them so as to make their property more secure. You know what that means?
This nigga talking about 3,000 people. What is wrong?
No.
You colonizers.
Let me finish.
Hold on, Topcatz. Hold on, because you ain't want to read it. Let him go.
Let me finish.
Go ahead, Rob Born. Go. Hurry up, because I got to let you go.
He doesn't read. So they wanted to get rid of the free Negroes so that they could keep slavery going on in the South.
Bro, stop it, bro. Get out of here with that. You came up here.
Yeah, he's
what's your genealogy, bro? What's your great
All right, Topcatz, please, so we can let him go. Let him finish. Go.
Can I get one more question, Topcatz? Why do you keep saying that Paul Cuffey is the origin of the Back to Africa movement when Prince Hall in 1778 made the Boston plan to go back to Africa?
Bro, don't nobody talk about him. Paul Cuffey put it on the map. That's why. Okay, Prince Hall.
No, he didn't.
Paul Cuffey.
Shoot him down.
Why don't nobody know that? I did. Paul Cuffey.
A lot of people know that.
Well, you
a lot of people know that.
You needed a source. You only showed 3 sources tonight. You should have used that then.
I'm just saying, brother. Stop.
Why
nigga asked a question?
Look at Jabari, y'all. His feet on his face.
And my last question. Why do you say that the Quakers wanted to colonize the Americas so the Indians could, so they could take the Indians' land? When in 1688 you have the German Constitution, which is the first anti-slavery thing.
All right, hold on. Time out. Hey, Rob Born, I'm gonna have to let you go on this one. You can call back in, brother.
Hold on. I want to say peace to Jabari, and this is why Topcatz didn't want to accept my $1,000 to debate.
All right, Rob Born, I gotta move forward.
Yeah, get Rob Born out of here, man.
Hey, brother Topcatz, he's gone.
Yeah, Rob Born, you had your chance.
You got to be able to show and prove instead of the yelling and going crazy, because people will look at you like, oh, you can't answer the question. See, when the callers, hold on. When the callers call in to ask a question, you got to be able to answer it and just move on with it.
They pulling the same thing Sanchez did.
It's like you're afraid
They
to
won't
deal
let
with
him
that
move on
kid
because
like
when
that.
he answered, they want to argue.
So anyway,
And he
peace
answered
and black
quick.
power family.
It's,
What's
it's
your
all
name? Where you
good. He
calling
gonna
from?
do a recap on this page,
Hey,
man.
this is
So,
Apostle, sir.
so
Apostle, let's go.
Peace,
Yeah,
Apostle.
I just wanted to say to you
Topcatz
first,
already ate him up too.
Ishmael, what he was talking about DNA in court, what he was saying, that what you use from Ancestry.com, from 23andMe, from African DNA, that type of information you cannot use in a court of law. But DNA can be used in a court of law. But not, that's for entertainment only.
Yes.
When you send in your swab, that's for entertainment only. It does not verify or prove anything.
How do they not know that by
But you're
now,
right.
bro?
It does show who you're related to.
Because they're
That's the way I
agents.
found
They
my
have to
father.
distract.
If it wasn't for that,
They
I
have
wouldn't
to
have found my
distract.
father.
That's true.
Ancestry
Big ups to you,
and
man. They not going to allow you to. Let me actually put it in a question. Do you find it strange that when black folk go about trying to figure out who they are, you always have other black folk telling you who you ain't?
You're not.
Do you find that strange?
That part, he killing that
black
nigga.
folk.
Nah, they colonizers. It's simple, bro. They are the
Right,
colonizers.
Topcatz.
That's what I
Them
told
niggas
you
mad. Ah, they
ain't
mad.
no-
It's
they
always
colonizers.
black people.
They love
like
Jesus
that
more
shit,
than you
boy.
do.
Priceless.
And you an
I don't love Jesus. I love Yahweh Shah, but
That
I
nigga
understand,
shot that
bro.
and sat back.
They love
And,
Jesus.
you got Jabari. Jabari is your number one African fan. All you need to do is put a bone through his mouth,
Okay.
through his nose, and give him a spin
that.
chuckle.
Come on, brother. No insults, brother. Just ask a question, brother.
On
Let
that.
me ask you this,
Okay.
Apostle.
On that.
Apostle, did Jabari show any-
Hold on, Jabari. Hold on. Just like I said to Top Cat. Yo, you got a question, brother, or what?
Yeah, well, but I just thought it was strange, man, because, I can come on this show and I can show that my relatives through Ancestry DNA had to register as one of the 5 tribes, the Tonys, my mother's grandmother's people. They're pure Cherokee from the Carolinas. They are registered with
Right.
the 5
And you
tribes.
were also
My son.
and you will also tell me that those tribes and those natives were Hebrews, right? You're gonna tell me that, right? Watch this.
They were Hebrews.
They
Sure,
were
they're
Hebrew Israelites, right?
Sure.
Now watch this. Top Cat. Was the Native Americans?
Hell no.
Was the Native American Hebrew Israelites Top Cat?
He an agent. Why
Say
you
that
trying to make
again.
him argue?
Hell to the no.
I'll see you later,
Yeah.
Apostle.
Bro.
Peace,
He
brother.
messed
I understand.
See what I'm talking about?
Can
All
I-
religion always want to make everybody a Hebrew.
Yeah.
Muslims want to make everybody a Muslim. The Moors want to make everybody Moorish. Like, come on,
make
man.
everybody
Can I say this? Can I respond? Can I say
facts.
something about the last question?
Go ahead, brother.
Okay. I wanna first say that that he's just incorrect. I don't know why he would say that DNA cannot be used in court. He's just incorrect. In fact, here's an article.
It can be used in court. It can't be used for bloodline.
They got to come out the Bible sometime, man.
I don't even know why he says that.
Because
DNA
he's in the Bible. They don't come out the Bible. Hebrews don't
DNA
come out the Bible.
databases are a boon to police, but menace to privacy, critics say. I want you to understand that one of the things that, by the way, they use GEDmatch, 23andMe, and Ancestry. One of the things that they can sometimes do when they're, for example, looking for someone, let's say they have partial DNA at a crime scene and they've never been able to figure out who the perpetrator was. Sometimes what they do is they go into the databases, particularly GEDmatch, by the way, and they're able to they can actually look at every every person of European descent in the United States and get them down to 1 or 2 relatives. And then so what they do from there is they go to those relatives and they ask them some questions, and then they find people. The Golden State Killer was caught that way.
All right, hold on. Hey, Terry Brown, listening is an art. He did not say that it can be used. He didn't say that. You're not listening.
What do you mean?
He said, because Terry Brown said DNA can be used. No, the DNA that Jabari is showing, he said that one can't be used.
No. He's correct. Wait, listen. I am in fact saying that DNA from commercial sources has been used in court.
That's what I'm saying. No, Jabari, slow down. You missing what I'm saying. Hold on, brother.
These niggas confusing
Hold on.
themselves.
You ain't hear Apostle come in and say the DNA from the ancestry joint
It's past their
can't be
bedtime.
used.
He did say
You are showing them that it can be used. That's the
and
point
in
I'm
fact
making.
is being used. Yes.
And so that's what I'm saying to Terry Brown.
Right.
Terry Brown, listening is an art. You got to
Right.
understand what he said. He said the DNA from the ancestry.com cannot be used in court.
Yes,
so
he
Jabari
did. He
is
said
showing
it can
him
be used
that
in
it can
court.
be used in court, and he just showed the source.
Sarnetta is
So,
dumb.
brother, you are wrong.
Listen to shit back.
And in
Let's get these
fact,
next calls.
Sarnetta,
They
if you
trying
want
to
to know
convince
more about how
themselves
this is
at this
happening,
point.
now
I
I should say
think
to you,
so,
people are
Chief.
At this
concerned about
point, they just trying to
right?
convince themselves.
Because in
I
some
think
ways,
you're right.
some of the people that put their DNA to this system, none of them are saying I want law enforcement to use it, but they are in fact able to
There are
do that.
two different types
And
of
when they do that,
DNAs,
they have been able to
ancestry
find
and
at least 3
paternal.
serial killers. If
Right.
you want to know about how commercial DNA is being used in court, the family, if you're listening, go look at the case for the Golden State Killer. It's one of the first cases to use commercially secured
This nigga gotta be
DNA
joking,
in court, and they
Yeah.
got a major conviction.
That's how I
So
knew
it's
when he
happening
mentioned
more and
DNA,
more.
he was
The
walking
idea that
into
you
a
can't
trap.
use it in court
There are
is
two
fallacious.
different
I don't
type
even
of
know where they got that from.
Exactly.
All right, peace and black power family. What's your name? Where you calling from? Before you say anything, let me let you know. All private callers will not be picked up on this phone.
Well,
If
nigga,
you're
I ain't
scared, get a
calling private,
goddamn
and you
dog.
keep hanging up
Go
on me.
somewhere. I think you are CIA or FBI. This is why you calling my phone privately.
He keep hanging
So
up on me.
no, ain't none of that shit going down. I think you're the government.
That's
I think
right.
you're the FBI.
He's the
I think you trying to get in here
See,
to set up
that's
some
a
craziness.
deflect there.
Peace and
You
black
see
power
that?
family. What's your name and where you calling from?
He's deflecting because he is.
That's what Sanchez
I'm
did to
located in
me.
Charlotte, North Carolina,
Yes.
and we met
Same shit.
like a couple of times, like the Million Man March 2015 event, and I met you in New York.
You was at the Million Man March?
Yeah, Million Man March 2015. I met you in person, and I showed you a bit of my artwork. I don't think you remember me all that.
What was I doing out there? What was I doing?
That
What was
sounds
I
like
doing?
Tyrone
I think you were
from our community.
doing a live at the event, but I met you another time when I was in New York visiting my uncle.
Okay.
And
that sounds like Tyrone from our community.
I stand with Topcatz on this one because when
Definitely.
we actually look into this
That's
whole
Tyrone.
transatlantic
Yeah, it
slave
sound like
trade
him, yeah.
narrative, it's inconsistent. It's fake. They like when you look at the history of Pan-Africanism, all it is just a lark of white supremacy trying to sell us on a pipe dream of building a black ethno-state Wakanda that out of Ali.
Watch they gonna
never,
argue with him. Watch they gonna
identified
argue
with
with him.
anything
Now,
like
never
that.
gonna hang
How
up on
so,
that
brother?
nigga.
How so? How so? How so?
Indigenous
I knew that was
people,
Tyrone.
like,
Yeah.
for example, the Australian Aborigines. They never called themselves Aborigines, and they never called their land Australia. They didn't believe in concepts of naming lands and stuff like that because
keep
they're
hanging
the
up on me.
original people. They see things
Wow,
in
you
abundance
serious,
and
Chief?
not in
I
like
think 'cause I said
depravity
Chief
like
Cali.
these people that are recessive gene mutants.
He keep
So it
hanging
makes
up.
no sense for the Pan-Africans
See,
to
look,
sit up there
that's me
and
coming.
compromise their own lineage to the Americans when we're the original
What's your
man,
question?
and
What's your
the
question,
majority
brother?
of the people.
What's your
So
question?
my question to Jabari is, if we're supposed to be foreigners to America and we're supposed to be Bantu sub-Saharan Africans, where is this West African great replacement and this cultural amalgamation between the Native American Indians? Because you should show us the West African sword. You should show us the West African
Pan Cali.
language, the food, the architecture, all of this. And we are not finding this, not even amongst the Native Americans. And plus, with that whole five civilized tribes story, it makes no sense because the Indians.
All right, what's your question, brother? Let's get to your question, brother.
Wait, let me walk you down. Let me walk you down. Let me walk you down because I stand.
No, brother.
I'm not
What
gonna
is
tell
the
you no
question,
lie.
brother? What is the question?
My question is, where is, if you're supposed to be a West African, how come you have to make a Bantu costume for yourself instead of standing with your own grandma's truth, which is the Indian? You didn't have to go make up a Bantu costume and tell you, black is beautiful. Not in
what the fuck? What?
What?
That's your question, brother?
Your origin West Africa.
They don't like that shit.
All right, let him answer, brother. Let him answer, brother. All right, let him answer. Go ahead, brother.
Let me answer. I think that Topcatz got dropped off too, by the way. Let me say, Sonetta, that there's some strange. That's a really strange question, but I want to answer all of the pieces that he.
I bet it is strange.
Oh, brother, you asked me a question. I'm going to answer it now.
Yeah, I put him on black ice for a minute. I put him on black ice.
Yeah, if you can't answer it, then you just,
He's
listen.
on black ice. Just go
First
ahead.
of all, I think that there's something that's strange, that really bizarre that's going on. I think that some of the Aboriginal folks are thinking that Pan-Africanism is the same as the Back to Africa movement. Pan-Africanism.
That's what it is.
I mean, it's in the ballpark.
It's in the
family.
What does pan mean?
To unite and
Pan
develop a
means
common
from.
agenda and strategy to move
Pan
forward.
means from
You can be a Pan-African and not have any interest in moving back to Africa. And as someone like Jabari is doing, I don't intend to leave Harlem permanently. I'm gonna go back and forth. That's there's these things called planes now, right? And so I don't know why they think that saying Pan-Africanism means that we're trying to sell people on going back to Africa permanently.
Or you're trying to sell the fact that we're African, nigga.
That's the first part. The second part is he also says, why are we not seeing lots of African words here in the United States? Well, in fact, brother, we do see a number of words that those enslaved Africans brought with them to the United States. Here goes now. I just Googled this, brother. There are books on this, okay? There are books on this. In fact, one of them is in my presentation.
I thought y'all hate Google.
That I would have shown you in the longer.
We know he Googled that shit.
Until they can use it.
Banana, banjo, basenji, bongo. Did you know that even the word tote and coffee are words that came into the African, lie. When it was brought by Africans? So we do in fact see that there are African terms, and there are many, many, many linguists now that are able to talk more about how African languages have found themselves into English and found themselves, even not just words, but even the way that African languages are formed. In fact, sometimes people think Ebonics is just slang, and that's not what it is. Ebonics is a different type of sentence structure. Now, the word Ebonics is no longer in usage.
All right, Tom.
Kelly, what the violins?
Peace and Black Power family. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Do I got some violins in here? Let me see.
You sound crazy. You sound too loud. I can't hear you. You got a lot of noise going on.
I turn the background down. Can you hear me now?
All right. What's your name?
That sound like Brownwood.
This is Geechee, man. I'm calling from Alabama.
Oh, okay.
All right. What's up, Geechee?
Okay, I got some for peace, Jabari. Peace, Big Chief. I got some I want you to touch base with, Chief. You just answered a question that I think you answered incorrectly. I mean, by opinion. When he asked you, hello?
Yes, we
hear.
When
he asked you got your computer in front of you? This is when he asked you where the original native Israelites, I need you to type this in, the identity of the Aborigine.
Man.
Type it in.
This is your question, brother.
These Hebrew niggas, man.
I'm asking him if he's familiar with this because when he just answered that, like, this is what I'm trying to say. This like this goes against what he just said. So I'm asking him, is he aware of this right here? The identity of the Aborigine.
Are you a Gullah Geechee family? Are you a Gullah Geechee? Are you a Gullah Geechee?
Come on, we already had this discussion.
All right, brother. I gotta let you go. Come on, man.
He didn't even say who wanted to debate with
the next caller.
I'm down Hebrew Israelites.
All this crazy shit. Let's go, man. Ask a question.
And while you're getting the next caller, Sonetta, let me just say, the brother wearing some bantu.
You lost the debate, bro. It's over.
Like to understand that Africans in the United States are attempting to reconnect themselves to African culture. And much of it was fractured during the transatlantic enslavement.
But wouldn't that be so goddamn ignorant for him to even say that? Like, what the hell he got on? Nikes, Jordans, like American clothes? Like, what the hell is wrong with See, I always tell people all the time, don't look at the material. Because I always say, they be saying, yeah, she got a wig on, or she got a wig on. And when you look at the dude with the locks, like he's conscious because his hair is twisted up. Next thing you know, you see him the next day walking down the street with a white girl on his arm. It's not about the hair.
Like
it's
Sanchez.
About the state of mind. It's not about what you got on. It's about
There
the
you
state of
go.
What you talking about?
Understand that.
You just said that.
Hold on. I got a caller on the line. Let the caller go. Let the caller go first. Peace and Black Power. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Mitigated God, Dayton, Ohio. What's up, sir?
What's happening, man? What's your question?
Peace, brother.
All right, peace, Jabari. Peace, Topcatz. I got a question, man. This is for Topcatz. I'm talking about this fake DNA, man, they be talking about. So I took a DNA test, and my sister took one, my daddy took one, my mama took one. We all live in different states. We didn't all take our tests at the same time. Went out to California, showed my aunt, my great aunt, I never met her. Showed her my DNA test, and she pointed at a picture and said, "That's my cousin right there." And on my DNA test, it shows that she's my fourth cousin. I want you to answer, how can that, if I take a DNA test, me and my sister, my other sister, my brother, we don't have the same last names, nothing. We didn't take the DNA test at the same time. How can it come back and show that that's my sister?
Because you're all alive at the same
time.
Right. You're all alive at the same time.
And it showed my fourth cousin was my fourth cousin. With this fake DNA that y'all talk about, you tell me how that's possible.
Because it would tell us, see, dropping the bomb like
These niggas ignorant, bro.
Crazy.
It's because you're all alive, stupid.
Hold
up, I can't hear you clear. Say that again.
You want to do what?
I say I want to have an exchange with him if it's okay.
Go ahead, talk to him, brother. It's okay. You here?
All right, turn up. Peace. What say your name was again?
Mitigated God. What's up, dude?
Okay, all right. Now you say, how does that prove that? Well, DNA is paternal, brother.
Right. He killed.
Ancestry.
How far does that go back, right? Because they
tell
can
who the
last and
father
they can say
is,
how
dog.
effective this DNA is. Let me ask you a question, brother. Are you of African descent?
Yes, yeah. It takes me back to West Africa. I got Cameroon,
It always
I got
takes you back to West
Congolese,
Africa.
and I got Ghana.
Right.
And I'm in Nigeria.
Yes, sir. Let me ask you this here. Do you know what year your family got to America?
Do I know what year what?
Do you know what year your family got to America?
I don't.
Okay, so
Of course you don't.
All right, thank
Because
you.
you didn't do your genealogy, dummy.
Hold on,
brother. Hold on. 1 second. I got you, family.
Yes.
20 seconds. Okay, because you just came in saying that how effective this was. But your ties to Africa hasn't got you anywhere, bro. You don't know the people's name. You don't know nothing. All you know is Cameroon, is colonies, is British colonies. That's all in British colonies.
That was
Nigeria is
invented in
company. So y'all let
1959.
want to, but these people are really out here claiming companies that these people put up. So brother, it is not effective because you don't know when your people got here. It does nothing for it. It's a pipe dream. I'm sorry, brother, but they claim.
Okay, but wait, hold on. Can I say this real quick? Because you're actually saying two different things.
No,
what
he's
I'm
not.
trying to say is,
You understand it.
regardless, we all go back to Africa. All of our roots are traced back to Africa. The DNA,
you always go back to Africa.
Or maternal. My mom took one, and then my pops took one. So when I compared mine to hers and
It's a
hers
system,
to his
nigga.
and everything, it traced us all back to the same
He could
part.
kill that with one word. Who
My
is your
DNA is
grandma?
split perfect
Who is your
with those two.
grandmother?
And hold on, brother. Hold
And
on,
who
brother.
is her
To know
mother?
that you're telling the truth, the same thing happened to me. The same exact thing happened to me. How did they know that this was my first cousin?
Guys,
all the
how
way in
does
South
a
North
magician
Carolina.
know the
They
magic?
did this.
It's a
We shouldn't even waste our
How
time
did
with
they
these
know,
people,
Top
bro.
Cat,
Dude,
that my
'cause it's a
father was
system. It's
Dominican?
rigged.
How did they know that? How?
Like I say, it's paternal, right? Listen, most people who claim African heritage, they know nothing about themselves. It has been, they don't know their people, they don't know the people in Africa, they don't even know what country to go back to. That's one of the things the Pan-Africans are saying. Just pick a place in Africa. You don't matter where you go.
Can
Jabari,
I
you
say
stay tonight. So what if the Africans don't accept you? So
Can I
it's
say-
the same. It does nothing for
Let
you.
him finish, idiot.
Can I say something?
You still don't have a birthright anywhere. You don't even know who your ancestors are.
Can I say something?
But if the whole I'm sorry, brother Jabari, and I'm gonna get on up off of here. I guess what I'm trying to say is this: whenever you argue the fact that we Native American, and I'm gonna be all the way 100 with you, I'm like 0.002%
We don't say we Native American.
Because you're not in Siberia, crazy. That's the Native American. They're gonna come up with Siberian.
African. But I just want to say this real quick. When you say that we're Native American,
I didn't say that.
We're going okay, all right. Okay.
Native
so what
Indian
I'm saying
is
is
when
you argue.
And Jabari, stop telling people
He's
who
not
they
saying
are.
native at all.
Yes, and you telling people who they are. You don't know who
argue
he
the fact
is.
that we're not African, what I'm just saying is simply is before any Native American or whatever, my roots trace back to Africa. Even my mama's roots trace back to like 200-some-thousand years back to the
What territory?
East Africa. Salute.
What
Hey,
village?
man, I actually love your energy.
What was the
Topcatz,
name
you
of the
man,
tribe?
Jabari, I got you winning. You know what I'm saying? It's a 30 ball. Love y'all, man.
What?
Yeah, damn lie. That man
Can I
takes
say
all
something
3
now?
Go
rounds.
ahead, brother Jabari.
I think that Brother Topcatz is even showing his ignorance here. I mean, he says DNA is paternal. You can do tests
What is
on
he
both
talking
your
about?
maternal
And they're gonna tell who the father is.
If you are male, if you are a woman, because you only have 2 X chromosomes, you're not able to actually test the paternal side. But if you are in fact a man and you have both the X and the Y, you can do a little bit more. But take a look at this piece. You can even see it says this is from African Ancestry, a really good outfit. I know that that Brother Topcatz wants to smear. Wait, brother, stop. Wants to smear them, but they're a really good outfit. I know them.
He
I know
might
the
be
work
gay,
they do.
cuz.
He is. I know for a fact he is. I could
This
tell
will
a spicy
discover your
auntie.
mother's roots, and it's for female
He's a
and male
spicy
testators.
auntie.
Now, if you were if you were a woman and you were trying to find out more about your paternal line, you would
You'll
likely
do a
need
blood
to get
test.
a male in your family to
You'll
test
do a
for
blood test.
you only have an X chromosome at two X the double X chromosome. So I just want to say that there's a lot of confusion around how this science works.
He ain't
for
saying
Big
shit.
Chief. Maybe that's the reason why he doesn't like it. But fundamentally, what you have to recognize is when you take the DNA test and you see people that you clearly know are your family, y'all didn't know you took the test, you don't live in the same place, you don't have the same name, and they tell you the distance, that is important. Big Chief would like to have us believe that because you don't know an exact year that your family, by the way, I keep trying to tell him.
Nothing about it.
Wait a minute, brother. Wait a minute, brother. I keep trying to tell him this. It's possible that your family came into the United States more than once. The way they tell the story of lineage, Sonnet, as if it's one person to one person. But in fact, you have DNA from both your mother and your father. They have DNA from their mothers and fathers, which means you have DNA from now 4 people, 8 people, 16 people. It is possible that you made an incursion into the United States more than one time. They tell the story like it's one person. When did your family get here? Well, what if your family got here more than once? This is just a fundamental confusion.
He kill me when you get off hump like he really making a point.
And
Big
make it
Chief,
known.
I will let you speak when I am done.
Yes, sir.
Essentially, what you're seeing is fundamental confusion around how lineage works. And I think that that's frustrating for me. You know, Sonetta, I said on your program that my father has lineage in the Bahamas and my mother has lineage in Guyana. And people in certain sections of the community said, Jabari has no lineage from, he's not an African American. And it's like we don't really understand how it works. I am the culmination of literally thousands, more than thousands of people. But my recent just in my recent ancestors, if I go back 3 generations, We have my mother and my father. That's one generation. We have my grandparents. That's another. That's 2 generations. That's 4 people. 3 generations is now 8 people.
All right, Jabari. All right. That's good. We're gonna let
Sonetta, do you I want you to try to
say that's
I
good.
think that we need to come to an understanding of it. I keep
yourself.
No, they
all right, Top Cat, let's go.
They about to have some.
You want to answer that, and then I want to bring on this next caller here.
Okay, one of the things I was able to do, see, it kills me how they so cool with the colonizers' work. They tell us how bad the white man will beat you, he'll kill you, he raped you, stole your land, but he bring out you some signs, and then they all of a sudden they cool with it. I mean, why are we mad at the white man? That's what I want to ask them. What is so revolutionary about this Christianity Pan-African movement? But anyway, back to the topic. Now they talk about this DNA like it's so effective. With every Pan-African I run across, I put them on their back pockets. Why? Because they do not know who they are. Pan-Africans do not know anything about themselves. Okay, they don't teach them nothing. They teach them to love Africa, but they don't even know who their first and second great grandmother was. They don't know if their family had
That's
land.
what I'm talking
about. They don't know the
about.
history of their family. That is bad. That is dangerous.
Hey, Top Cat. Do you know why they don't know who their grandparents were? Do you know why, brother?
I do know why, because
why? Tell us why. Tell us why they don't know. What happened?
The Pan-Africans told them they was from Africa.
Oh.
Their family didn't tell them that. They went on colonization missions through these churches. I just showed y'all.
Brother, the reason why the masses of our people don't know these things, Top Cat, is because we've been taken from the homeland. I know you know this history. We've been stripped of a thorough knowledge of self. We've been stripped of our language, brother. This is why me and you are communicating in English. Who took that away? How was that taken? Top Cat, we've been stripped of our religion. We've been stripped of everything. We've been stripped of the food that we eat. We've been stripped of the clothes that we wear, the culture, all of this. So Top Cat, try to understand what we're saying.
Why in the 1920s, we were the richest people on this planet.
I don't know, but I know I'm from somewhere in West
Listen
Africa.
how he
You
sounds.
know that, Sonetta, because I took my goddamn DNA.
Okay, now let me
That's
ask
how
you
I
this.
know. The only way you can know where you at or where you was from is that you would have to know and take your DNA. Here's mine's right here, where you can see it. West African. 54.5% West African. You see what I'm saying? And just like the other caller called in, you even got little 1.2% Chinese right down here. 1.2% Chinese, indigenous American.
And he not even read that right.
0.9% of indigenous American. Right in there.
You probably got more than Big Chief.
You see what I'm saying? Hold on, what you saying, Jabari?
You probably have more than Big Chief does.
Yo, you know, that's true. But I know that right there come from my father's side.
Wow.
It comes from my father's side. You see what I'm saying? So this is what I'm telling you. Come on. Peace and Black Power, man. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Wow.
Wow.
Peace, Topcatz. Peace to
all right, we got Jabari. We got Garfield in the building. What up, Garfield?
Peace, Garfield.
Hey, peace. I'm gonna ask Jabari.
See, he letting who he want on, just like
if you took your DNA test, my brother, and you found out you were 60% Native American, what would change in your life? Just give me a quick snippet of 20 seconds. What would change about you as an individual?
Well, you know, that's a really interesting question, Garfield. That's a really interesting question. If I took my DNA and I found out I was 60% Native American, I would have to go on a journey to find out who those people were, why I don't have memory of them. I would try to reconnect with those places and those peoples. I really would. I would have been surprised.
Watch this, Jabari. Now, Topcatz, if you took a DNA test which you don't like, and you found out you were African, how would your life change right now?
My life wouldn't change, bro, because that's the work of the college. You just seen this presentation tonight, bro. You seen what I just did to that DNA.
Okay.
Don't ask me that.
All right, cool. All right. No. The reason why I asked both of you the same question because I wanted the audience to hear the response. You see, Jabari, the thing is, we have, hold on, let me expand. Let me add on to what my brother Jabari thought earlier, right? You see, they found a mummy that's 800 years old in Peru, right? If they're able to extract DNA from that mummy, which I don't know if they're, depending on where it is, and they have found different specimens that they have found all over the Americas, right?
What happened, Callie? Chief Callie?
My bad, y'all. That was an accident. Hold on one second.
All right.
Let me get back.
With DNA testing to find out who you are, to be honest with you. Now, let me say this, my brother. The problem that we have, son, and I have to close off with this. I'm not going to stay long. It's called an identity crisis. You see, brother Jabari, if he was a Native American in his DNA, he went into what's called how his life would change. And he said, I would have to go back and find and search.
Okay.
This brother,
so
when
check
I
this
asked
out.
him the same
Check
question,
this out, y'all.
he
Because
showed
this is
such a
irritating.
disdain for Africa.
Let me
irritating.
He's interested in that
while
conversation.
we're sitting here on
so
DNA.
now we as human beings,
Give me a second.
no matter
I'm
what
gonna
you
stop
claim in the
screen sharing.
audience,
Okay.
I'm gonna stop screen sharing, and we're gonna look at something, and we're gonna show you what they're not explaining, right? Let me screen share. Let me shut Jabari up right quick. I want to show y'all something. I want to show y'all something, right? Now, they keep bringing up this fucking DNA shit, right?
Yeah,
like it's just law. Now let's look at this. Let me share my
and now
screen.
they're trying to sell that shit.
I'm gonna show y'all a couple things, so we can see why we don't fuck with the DNA.
Right.
Give me a second, y'all. I'm screen sharing. I want y'all to watch. I'm gonna just show y'all a couple parts, and then we can go back into that. But this is what we're gonna look at, right? Y'all see the screen? Okay, so on the screen. Let me play. This is why we don't fuck with DNA.
Millions of people buy DNA test kits, curious to learn what their genes might reveal about their ancestry. But how accurate are those kits? Well, we tested some of them using identical triplets and quadruplets. Lisa Guerrero has the results.
Wait a minute. Triplets and quadruplets. Do we got that understanding? Triplets and quadruplets are taking this test, right? So their shit should come back the same, right?
Fact.
These are the same DNA tests none of them is sitting there talking about right now. These are the same DNA tests. And triplets and quadruplets are about to take these tests.
Man, if you notice, this man let the people who call in who he wanted to call in to cause chaos.
Yeah, because they kept hanging up on me.
Yeah.
You were all 99% European. But the test from 23andMe also showed some surprising differences.
For example, Nicole, you're 11% French and German. But Erica, you're 22.3% French and German.
Wow, that's weird.
And Jacqueline, you're 18%.
I am surprised though, because we came from the same egg and we have the same DNA. How are our ancestries a little different?
We sure wondered the same thing.
Well, guess what?
Let's see how the Maynard triplets did with their test from Family Tree DNA.
According to the kit you took, these are the results.
They all showed British Isles ancestry, but how is it that the range was so different? Aaron had 59%, Mandy 66%, and Melissa 70%. And how is it possible that Mandy showed 6% Scandinavian ancestry, but her identical sisters showed none?
That's weird. I mean, I don't like it.
It's the
One
exact
result, no result at all.
same DNA that they tested.
Is that a little disappointing?
Very.
Now, hold up. Now, we see this, right? We see this shit's off. How are twins and quadruplets and triplets coming up with different DNA tests, right? So, why don't we go talk to the motherfuckers at the universities that do the motherfucking studies and shit on this shit? Let's figure this shit out. I mean, because I got to figure out. Oh, hold on. I think these are some twins right here. Let's look at these twins.
1, 2, 3. At 23andMe, it's a promising start.
Remember,
Mine
they
says
mentioned 23andMe, right?
98.1%
Right?
European, and yours says 98.2. So we're pretty close. Italian, 37.7.
Ooh, 36.8.
But then we begin growing apart.
There's
I'm only
over-
28% Eastern European on this one. And
I'm only 24% Eastern European.
Now,
on
this the
one.
shit Sinetta don't want us to take.
This one actually
Facts.
says Poland.
Mine doesn't.
Mine does.
What?
What?
Yeah. Look.
Huh?
Poland possible match.
Poland was not detected on mine. It specifically says not detected.
What?
And it gets weirder. Okay, this is hilarious though, because look, French and German. What?
Oh, I don't have that.
You don't have that at all?
What?
We're identical twins.
That boy
but
was
you have
lying
to
who
wonder
called
with
in.
results like these. I'm
Oh.
3.8% broadly European.
Well, I'm 12.7.
Wow, that's a big difference.
Yeah.
Guess what Sinetta don't want us to take? Let's go to the university. Let's go talk to them.
Possible?
How is this possible?
In search of answers, I traveled to New England, to Yale University, and meet up with Mark Gerstein and his international team of computational biologists. They study DNA and statistics, and they are stunned by our twin results.
I have to say that one really shocked us. I mean, we expected two identical twins to have the exact same ancestry.
You would think, right?
So the fact that they
Right.
present different results for you and your sister, I find very mystifying. We thought for sure that the differences had to do with just when one person spit, there was a contaminant in the sample, or
But then you looked at the raw data and you're saying you checked and there's no difference.
It's like, it's shockingly similar. It's like, it's scarily the same.
The Yale team downloaded and compared our DNA sections from all 5 companies.
Agreement between you and your sister is 99.6%.
They did this with all 5 different ancestry companies. So everything should have came back the same, right?
Right.
It should have come back the same, right? Do y'all think it came back the same?
99.7% agreement.
23andMe's own data says we're statistically identical. It's the same for the other companies.
So why would Carr be more Eastern European than I would if our DNA is the same?
She's not. I mean, there's nothing to say. I mean, there's no, you and your twin sister have the same genetic ancestry. End of day. I mean,
she's not. I mean, there's nothing really to say.
For entertainment purposes only.
This is what Sinetta them is over there arguing with Topcatz about. They want us to take this bullshit. This shit that's not accurate.
And then they cloning people with that, man. Look.
Oh yeah, definitely they are. But let's keep going. Let's keep going because he's trying to explain why the fuck he's puzzled. Why the fuck is he puzzled?
We're statistically identical. It's the same for the other companies.
So why would Carr be more Eastern European than I would if our DNA
These numbers is off.
she's not. I mean, there's nothing to say. I mean, there's no, you and your twin sister have the same genetic ancestry.
Facts.
I mean, there's nothing to say. I mean, that's the truth.
Yeah.
How can we explain this result?
This must be purely in terms of the analysis that 23andMe does on the data.
23andMe isn't the only company with funny twin differences.
Oh, great. Now you're Scottish and Irish.
This what y'all want us to take?
Wow.
All these little different numbers and shit. So if they fucking up on their shit, what makes you think they ain't fucking up on y'all shit?
All right, I give up.
Living DNA is serving up
Wow.
some stumpers too.
Yours says South Italy and mine
Yeah.
says Tuscany.
I just don't understand how you could have a Tuscany marker and I don't.
I mean, these are twins though.
Yes.
How is this happening? Hold on, y'all. Let me take y'all a little further in. Hold on. We finna get back to it, right? We finna get, because they trying to figure this out. This ain't working. I'm gonna take y'all to this guy. Let me take y'all to this guy. In a second. Let's see what happened with this guy here.
African ancestry tests. I sent out a test to AfricanAncestry.com. I didn't use my real name, so they're not going to be able to know it's me. They're not going to know it's a Nigerian Igbo guy. And the results are back.
What
We're
they
gonna find
doing,
out.
Brown Wolf?
whether I really am an Igbo guy, according to
They
African
just asked
ancestry.
that boy,
I got the results right here.
do he
JT is
know
the name I
about
used.
Africans being over here
Let's
before
find
Christopher
out.
Columbus? They just asked that man, do he know? Like they just asked him, do he know about Africans being here before Christopher Columbus? They asked brother
what they really are what
Jabari.
you call an identity thief.
That
An
man Jabari
identity
said
thief will
no.
steal your credit card, Jabari, and pretend to be Jabari Osazi and go in the store
That
and
man
shop.
said no, he don't think that
These
shit
guys
real.
are window dressing for their audience on YouTube. These guys are YouTubers. They have no significant progress in
I
life.
bet you gonna get
They're
it.
just
How the
And
fuck?
watch this. Watch this.
How
Watch this. Watch
this dude know
An
who
identity
people
thief
is?
will steal an identity
These
and
people
pretend
are
to be that person.
crazy.
So to pretend to be an Indian is cool. As soon as African Americans start getting reparations, watch how they all switch.
You're not getting no reparations. You don't have a nationality.
And this is the
God.
problem with all these people. They're all
You do not have a
They
nationality. You
don't
won't
want to
get
be who they are.
reparations.
And I'm done. I don't want to hear a response.
brother,
I'm out.
African American is a social
Hey,
construct.
Stilos, call it in. It's your turn, brother. Call it in now.
Tom Nutter,
We're about to wind it down right now.
if I could say one thing that's going to take 10 seconds.
You sure,
One
Jabari?
thing.
That's
Yeah,
impossible.
really. Time me. Time me.
Go ahead, brother. Say it.
Take a look at this. I just want y'all to understand.
Call
Okay,
from.
count my 10 seconds right now.
Go ahead,
I want y'all
Jabari.
to understand that our big chief, brother Big Chief, has so much of a problem with his own African heritage that he says that science is
Did
from
the
the
same
Europeans.
thing to your
And
girl.
look at AfricanAncestry.com. These are the people that started this: Dr. Gina Page and Dr. Rick Kittles. And he can't even
Dr.
give
Rick
these black
Kittles.
folk credit for what they did. He would rather say science is something that white people did. That's a
Well,
problem.
you know the government funded Rick Kittles on that project, bro.
That's actually not true.
Yes, it is true.
That is.
Jabari, you should have brought some sources tonight, because I damn sure brought it up. I like
All
how
right, all right. Hold on. We're going to get the
Oh,
last
you got
caller
it
right here.
behind, Chief. You got it behind, Chief. It's all good.
Time. We bringing in the last caller. Peace and Black Power. What's your name? Where you calling from?
What's wrong with you?
This is CeeLo, sir.
Peace,
and
CeeLo.
blessings to you.
Peace, CeeLo. How you doing?
What's going on? And Mr. Jabari, what's going on, man?
Peace, brother.
Great
Peace.
presentation. I always learn, Jabari, when you do your presentation. I always learn something.
Thank you.
From you, and I appreciate that.
What
very
you
much.
learn? Please tell me.
You know, you're a good brother, bro. But I wanted to ask you a question, you specifically. And then I'm going to ask Jabari a quick question also. Topcatz, what tribe are you from, and do you have a written language? You know, do you know the glyphs of that particular tribe that you're from?
I'm from the Kashada tribe.
Shatasia.
But my closest tribe would be
Chapaculas.
and they speak
Bayukula.
the Kasadi language, brother. And no, sir, I do not speak the glyphs or whatever you just asked me.
Do y'all speak African
you
language?
You don't know the written language
Swahili?
of that particular tribe?
No, it's Kasadi, brother. They speak Kasadi language, brother. I do not know the written script. I just told you.
Yeah, because it would have been nice if you could at least put that presentation up there, because I study a lot of the glyphs from a lot of Native Americans, and it shows, the connection with Africa, with the Mande script. As a matter of fact, I did a presentation on that, you know what I'm saying? So that would be very interesting to find out what tribe you belong. Huh?
Your challenge, so I come over there and beat you up.
Oh.
Hold on. On Topcatz.
Yes, sir.
How can you beat up a brother who's telling you he studied a language and you don't know the language? He's telling you he studied the language. He noticed he's studying it, and he's showing you the
Please tell him to say
between
something
African.
in
How can you
the
beat up?
language.
Hold on, brother.
Please.
How can you beat up someone who studies this and you don't, Topcatz?
You know what, son? You just made me
Hunters.
you just reminded me of something. This is the brother that came out here with the Brazilian. Hold on, brother. You the brother with the Brazilian codex, right? That's you, right?
I'm listening.
Or are you the brother with the Brazilian codex?
See, he's letting people up there. See, they think they slick
Yes,
these
sir.
days.
Is that what you talking about, this language?
Not only the Brazilian tablet, but the elephant.
There you go. That's him.
Well, hold on. Don't take it. Let's go right. Let's get right back to it. No sidetrack. Go ahead, Silos. It's on you.
Yeah, I was the brother that brought that up because that's something that I was Googling on, as far as looking for my ancestors.
But get right back to your question, though, Silos. Don't get sidetracked. Get right back to your question.
Okay. Well, the question, that's the question I want to ask Topcatz, but he has no clue of what the glyphs are, anything like that, and what connections. So I'm just going to move on.
I got some connections. Don't you go nowhere. Okay, so that language, right? Now you said that was from the Mende, but the script, right? It would have been in the Ba language. Am I correct? What language would it have been in? I'm about to show y'all something. When we look at the syllabary on that, it was a brother, I can't think of his name, but his name was Austin. He went there, Cherokee Indian went in there and created the Ba syllabary over in West Africa. Jabari, don't get your feelings hurt tonight. You've done enough losing. Listen to me. That's fake, bro. That's fake too. You know what they use it for? They use it to
my brother, you will have to show that.
I will.
Brother, you will have to show that. That's a blackboard thing. You will have to show those glyphs, and we will have to look at.
I will come over here.
You know what I'm saying?
But
you can't do that. Maybe for another presentation you do that. But Jabari, I want to ask you a question about. So do you in any way know anything? I mean, is there anything that you came across in any of your research about Africans coming to the North America continent before Christopher Columbus, like pre Atlantic slave trade, anything like that? Have you ran across any information like that?
I think that there are scholars that have made that argument for a lengthy period of time, and I think that scholarship is not definitive yet. I think that there needs to be more work. I think that there's some interesting arguments that I think are possible, but I think that there needs to be more study to be able to definitively prove that Africans made journeys here and perhaps even worked with the native people. I'll tell you that Christopher Columbus, when he comes, in his own journal, he says that the people he met told him that before he got there, black men came there with spears tipped with gold. And he says that he's going on his second trip because he wanted to see them. So let's be clear that
Jabari, you know.
Yeah, there's lots of little pieces that seem to propose it, but we need to do more research to really prove it definitively.
You need to do more. You need to do more research.
Thank you very much for that answer.
Yeah.
You top hat. That's how a scholar
I'm looking for you.
Okay. That's how
you see how they set up the calls, y'all?
Good manners.
That pseudo codex. I'm looking for you.
Yeah, I told you they kept hanging up on me.
When you was on the panel last time, I asked for you, but you had left. But I remember you though. I'm gonna find you.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, these are discussions. We're trying to unpack a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? As African people, and yes, DNA does work because the same thing that happened to Samara, same thing that happened to Jabari, happened with me.
Oh, is that right? I'm going back to DNA in just a second.
And I found DNA.
And you notice, Silos and Jabari, you notice
sound like
all those people who are afraid of DNA is those who claiming to be something else, right? You notice that?
Shit,
like the Hebrews, we don't mess with DNA.
Nah, fuck
the Moors, we don't mess with DNA.
Nah, fuck that. Now,
you'll kill him with that video alone.
Fuck that. We gonna show you. Let me show you why we don't fuck with DNA. Now, they love to talk that African, African and me shit. Right? Hold on, y'all.
23 and me.
They got the African one. What's the African one? They love to call out that African one.
DNA.
Let's talk to the people that make the creators of the African one that they love. Is y'all on my screen? Hold on, cause I ain't got time to play with these niggas, man. Y'all got some explaining to do, right? Cause y'all keep pushing this fucking DNA shit.
Yes, they got.
Now y'all gotta explain this shit right here. I need y'all to explain this.
can determine where in Africa our forebears were from. Among those using the test to trace their family's past, Spike Lee, Oprah Winfrey, and actor Isaiah Washington, one of the stars of Grey's Anatomy.
Brother Washington, for your mitochondrial DNA, it's quite common among the Mende and Temne people in Sierra Leone.
You think about young African Americans growing up thinking that the history started with slavery. I mean, how do you think that that impacts their psyche? We went through slavery. We didn't start with slavery.
To Vi Higginson, the prospect of tracing even a tiny fraction of her ancestry back to Africa was enthralling. 60 Minutes sent her DNA to African Ancestry, as well as to several other genetic genealogy companies, to see what they could tell us about Vi's maternal lineage.
All right, now, African Ancestry, right? But we ain't gonna just send it to African Ancestry. We gonna send it to some more motherfuckers too. We gonna see how this shit work out when we send it to some other motherfuckers. Let's see. All this shit should come back the same, right?
I'm sitting on the edge of my Kittle's company sent Vi what they call a certificate of ancestry. Oh my God. It says that you share maternal genetic ancestry with people from the Mende tribe in Sierra Leone. Do you know
Everything they told Isaiah.
Leone or the Mende people? No, nothing.
People have been waiting a lifetime for something like this. Now, this is just a tiny bit of information now.
But they take it as huge.
Right, because it's cracking open the door that was closed for centuries.
There's a place in Africa you could say that I'm from. A tribe. I am thrilled. It puts a name, a place, a location, a people. It opens up such possibilities.
But the problem is, Sierra Leone wasn't the only answer Vi got.
What was the problem? Huh? Wait a minute. What? Wait a minute. There was a problem?
The problem is, Sierra Leone wasn't the only answer Vi got. A company called Relative Genetics found a match to a single person in the Wobi tribe in the Ivory Coast.
Oh man, come on. No, say it ain't so, man. Hold on. It's supposed to go back to the same shit, right?
Right.
Hold on. What's going on here? What's the problem?
Now, I got all excited about that, and this is different. Now, how could that happen?
Then a third company, Trace Genetics. Your particular sequence matches sequences reported among multiple Mendanka individuals in Senegal.
So I got the Mendezes, I got the Mendangas, and I got some, what we got going on over here in Africa? Y'all sending me all over Africa. You see why we don't fuck with DNA?
Right.
You see why we don't fuck with them DNA kits, Sonetta?
And you
see why we don't fuck with this shit, Jabari? Somebody tell that nigga that called in. Oh, and I got my sister and my mama did it too, and woo woo woo. Well, what the fuck is going on over here, nigga? She getting 3 different results back from 3 different motherfucking tests. Hold on, we ain't done though.
What's up with this? And Family Tree DNA, the company that linked Vi with Marion in the first place, came up with a whole list of matches.
A whole list?
Oh my.
What? A whole list? Hold on, man. I would think this shit's making me more confused than I was before I took the fucking DNA test. You see why we don't fuck with this play shit right here? Hold on, we ain't done, man. These niggas, Sonetta them gotta answer this shit. They'll never bring me on here to answer this bullshit.
This goes on and on.
And that's the rub. This business of genetic genealogy is fraught with limitations.
With limitations!
You hear that?
With limitations. Hold on, we ain't done.
For one thing, it can only provide information about a tiny fraction of our ancestry.
A who?
Tiny.
A tiny fraction?
That's a dot. A dot.
What? What are you talking about, man? Oh, okay, so far, since this little clip, we finding motherfucking problems. When you use more than one DNA kit, they're not coming back with the same results. We're finding twins, we're finding we're finding triplets and quadruplets coming up with different fucking DNAs, right? Then you're telling me the shit's got limited editions. Hold up, we ain't done. And then a motherfucker had a whole list of motherfucking places they from. What the fuck?
fraction of our ancestry. Because we get half our DNA from our mothers and half from our fathers, almost all of our DNA gets shuffled and remixed every generation, making it impossible to trace what comes from whom. There are just 2 bits of DNA that remain pure: the Y chromosome, which passes directly from father to son, and something called mitochondrial DNA, which passes unchanged from mother to child.
Bingo.
Hank Greeley, a law professor at Stanford University, has studied this new field. He worries that people don't realize just how many ancestors they actually have.
8 generations ago, both you and I had 256 great-great-great-great-great-great-grandparents.
Wait, you're saying that if you go back 8 generations, we have 256 great-great-great-grandparents?
Yes, it doubles every generation. So you've got 2 parents, you have 4 grandparents, you have 8 great-grandparents, 16 great-great-grandparents, and it adds up fast. It adds up so fast, in fact, that if you go back 20 generations, you've got over 1 million grandparents.
1,048,576 to be exact. And in each generation, DNA testing can provide information about only 2 of them.
So you could be Peruvian on your mother's mother's side, Japanese on your father's side, Swedish on everything else.
And you'll never know.
And you'll never know the Swedish from the Y chromosome or the mitochondrial DNA.
Hold on, wait a minute. Watch this. Watch this.
Now, you've looked at several of these companies that are doing these tests.
Uh-oh.
Do you think that they explain what you just explained to us?
No, I don't think any of them does as good a job of pointing out the limitations. But, you know, businesses often don't go around telling you how weak their product is.
Businesses ain't gonna tell you how weak they fucking products are, right? They're not gonna tell you about their limitations. They're gonna sell you some shit.
This is a money-making scheme, and I bet them Pan-Africans got some investment in that.
Sinetta them gotta explain this, because businesses ain't gonna tell you about their limitations and how weak their product is that they're selling to you.
How weak their product is.
We don't oversell. I mean, we just say, look, we provide a service.
That's the dude from Ancestry.
Yes,
we don't oversell. We provide a service. That nigga said we provide a service. Hey, y'all buy that shit. Y'all buy them little DNA kits. Hey, we just provide a service.
For entertainment purposes only.
Listen to the people who make the shit.
Yep.
We don't oversell. I mean, we just say, look, we provide a service.
No, I don't think any of them does as good a job of pointing out the limitations. But, you know, businesses often don't go around telling you how weak their product is. Businesses often don't go around telling you how weak their product is.
We don't oversell. I mean, we just say, look, we provide a service. If you're interested in exploring a tiny bit of your DNA and trace its ancestry, we can do that.
A tiny bit of your DNA. I mean, hey, we ain't finna oversell the shit to you.
And they're gonna give you over-exaggerated results.
We ain't finna oversell the shit to you. But we provide a service. We need that money. Explain this shit, Sinetta. You get what I'm saying? Explain this shit, Jabari. Nigga on the phone, explain this shit. Why should we take this shit? It sounds like too many fucking problems going on, and the shit's not nowhere near accurate. Sounds like entertainment shit to me. Some shit you buy your family at fucking Christmas and shit, and just, hey, see what it say, man, just for kicks and giggles. Hold on,
You say it's a tiny little amount?
It's less than 0.1%.
Less than 0.1%? What are we doing here, Jabari and Sinetta?
We can do that.
When you say it's a tiny little amount?
It's less than 0.1%.
Less than 0.1%. Get the fuck out of here. Wait a minute, y'all. This is the last thing I'm finna show y'all. Wait, I got one more thing to show y'all real quick. Let me scoot on up a little bit, right? Because what I want y'all to see is why we don't fuck with taking this DNA shit, right? Watch this shit. This nigga done took DNA and shit. Where did your DNA end up at?
Here is a certificate saying that I am from Cameroon.
Yeah, his shit was wrong too.
Yeah.
His shit was wrong too.
I mean, this place was crowded. Lloyd Matthews was a patient at another clinic Zajac operated with the help of an ex-con named Eric Bugan. Matthews was lured in by the Walmart gift card.
Just got to paying the monthly bills and, got nothing to get the kids for Christmas.
So it helped. The clinic Matthews visited was one of two in Killeen, Texas. The other was in a log cabin at the back of this parking lot.
This where his
Now, from the
DNA
looks
was
of
at.
things, they're no longer doing business here. But we found plenty of evidence in the trash they had been. Dozens of copies of soldiers' TRICARE
Your
ID
information.
cards.
And cancer tests with saliva samples like the one our producer had taken in Austin. One belonged to Lloyd Matthews.
Yeah.
Wow.
Give me motherfuckers your
is where we
DNA and
found
shit.
your samples.
And this is where your shit at. Going somewhere else. They selling your shit. All of this shit. This is why we don't fuck with that shit.
Yes.
This shit's
Matthews was told
inaccurate.
his samples would be tested and a doctor would be in touch. That obviously
Didn't
never
happen.
Just a bit far-fetched for me to even imagine that someone is actually not only doing this, but they're actually getting away with it because they haven't been caught yet.
Now, Lloyd Matthews' insurance was not billed for that test we found in the trash. We reached out to the doctor whose name was on the order, and he told us he wasn't aware his provider information had been used to order the test.
Oh,
Tina grew up believing
Oh wow.
that two of her.
Oh wow. Right? This yeah, and y'all want us to take this shit? Let me show y'all what this science says about y'all DNA shit. I mean, you can see, like, man, listen, hey, hold on, y'all. Let me, is this him right here? I think this is him right here. I just want y'all to hear what he say. Like, y'all niggas putting all y'all trust into this DNA. That man say, hey, man, listen, what y'all want me to tell y'all?
I'm giving you a service.
Man said, I'm giving you a service, man. Like, hey, we ain't gonna oversell. This is what I want y'all to listen to this man right here, right? Let's listen to what he says about these DNA kits that Sinetta them want to tell y'all we need to take to find out if we're African.
Selling something that isn't.
Hold on, there you go. What'd you say, Mr. Man?
I think they're selling something that isn't really supported by the science.
So you would think the test should be pretty accurate, is it not?
I think they must be pretty accurate, or else they wouldn't be like getting all the hype that they do. I'm assuming, at least.
I think they're true. I mean, I would trust them.
We're engineering students, so we think science, we think accuracy. Yeah. So personally, I would think.
I'm trying to get to.
I took 5 tests. So did my sister.
What that guy said.
What would you expect our results to be?
The same. Identical.
They should be the same.
They identical. Yeah.
Should be identical, right?
So, are paternal and or maternal DNA test results the same?
Let me see something. I want y'all to hear what that man said.
I mean, that's the truth.
Yeah.
How can we explain this
Right
result?
here. I think this is him right
Messages that are being sent to consumers.
I think it's misleading. These companies are really trying to push the idea that this is scientific, right? They are using science.
What they trying to do?
Push it. Say it
I think it's
scientific.
misleading. These companies are really trying to push the idea that this is.
Somebody tell Sinetta these companies are.
I think it's misleading. These companies are really trying to push the idea that this is scientific, right? They are using scientific language and they present it in a way that looks very sciencey and precise.
Caulfield says what people are really buying is entertainment.
Entertainment?
For
we buying what? Sinetta. Hey, Sinetta, Jabari. They said we buying what?
Buying is entertainment.
I think it's recreational science. They can have a little bit of fun with this stuff. Don't.
That's what they buying. They buying.
Oh wait, but hold on. Sinetta don't want us to buy this shit.
This is science.
They want us to buy entertainment
really trying to push
versus our bloodline. They want us to buy entertainment. Shit that's gonna end up in somebody's shed.
It's just.
Right? How stupid do they sound?
What do you think about the messages that are being sent to consumers?
I think it's misleading. These companies are really trying to push the idea that this is scientific, right? They are using scientific language and they present it in a way that looks very sciencey and precise.
Caulfield says what people are really buying is entertainment.
I think it's recreational science. They can have a little bit of fun with this stuff. Don't take it too seriously, but know that you're just getting some information that is an approximation of how your DNA compares to other people. It's not tracing back your
nigga. They're selling you a service, nigga. Fuck y'all want us to do?
They don't get it.
I'm gonna listen to my family. I'm gonna stick with that. You niggas is following a white man's out of Africa theory, right? Then you follow the white man's DNA test. You get what I'm saying? You use the white man Google. you get what I'm saying? Fuck out of here. And
then try to tell you who you are.
And then tell nigga, you niggas are taking DNA samples for entertainment, but want to tell me who I am. Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. Y'all, I'm getting ready to shut this bitch down.
Peace and blessings.
Listen,
I enjoyed it to the fullest.
Yeah, man, I enjoyed it too.
Topcatz
did his thing, man. Salute to that brother. I'm sure Topcat is about to I'm sure Topcat is definitely going to do a recap. You know he is. So I'm going to be looking out for that. He's going, you know.
So we have 2-0 for the Aboriginal community. Big AP took it. I know he did.
I'm going to take that too. Yeah. Yeah, this old Pan-African shit, it's been see, this is the bad part about it though. We got these niggas on the ropes, we killing this shit, and we still fighting amongst each other over here. And we still fucking each other up over here.
Facts.
This should be the moment we should really be moving stronger and stronger and stronger.
And together.
And moving on this land, on this land, taking back what's ours, knowing what's ours, getting our land back, finding out what our family had. We had Black Wall Streets and shit right here. Why don't we have it again? Because we don't know who we are. Because we got niggas telling us to take entertainment DNA tests.
And we're listening to idiots telling us we wasn't nothing. We wasn't.
They struck my channel, y'all?
Oh, no. They did?
YouTube shit. They struck my channel? They said they struck my channel. How you know they struck? Somebody was big mad and reported the stream.
That's messed up, bro. Good night.
Listen, y'all. So y'all know we gotta be telling the truth somewhere, right?
Somewhere they trying to shut it down.
But this has to be some truth somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Nobody. Listen. What did Malcolm say? What did Malcolm X say? Nobody hates this truth.
Nobody.
But a wolf.
That's right.
Only a wolf hates this. Who intends to make you his meal.
Wow. Well, on that note, we'll do another one, especially about the DNA test hoax.
We need to.
We need to.
Since that was a big topic, let's put that one together. Sure.
We will.
Hey y'all, I appreciate y'all, man. Anything y'all want to say before y'all jump off the panel, man?
Nah, I just think it was a great debate. I think Topcatz held his own. He came with the information. He came with the resources, just like AP did. AP was reading, but AP still got his point across.
Yeah.
This was a great debate tonight. I appreciate that. They were both manner, but Jabari is a she. I'm sorry. Good night.
Yeah.
Good night,
my young brother.
Yeah. Hey, man. Big bro. Hey, Empress. Yeah, it was good, man. It's a good time spending time with y'all. It's, we could have been doing everybody could have been doing anything at this type of hour, you know what I'm saying? Wasting time or whatever. But we were actually, doing something productive. So, I'm happy for that. And yeah, man, I just want to say moving forward, and that's 2 wins. We got to put that on the books. We got to hold that to the fire.
Yes, hold it to the fire.
Yeah, we got to announce that, make them take that.
They falling apart over there.
Yeah.
That whole Pan-African shit, you niggas cannot. Listen. Tonight was very, very key. And Topcatz did what he was supposed to do.
Yeah.
He came out the gate dealing with bloodline. And see, let me show you something where Jabari tried to say he didn't answer the questions and he didn't woo. What he did was first, he said, let me show you who I am first. He put bloodline on the table first in front of the Pan-African. Before I tell you about how you can't connect yourself to Africa or you can't connect yourself to this Pan-African shit, right? I'm going to show you first how I attach myself to this land and that's through my bloodline.
Right.
Now, after I'm done doing that, I'm gonna need you to show me how you tie yourself to this place called Africa. But not just you, but how you're telling us that we are African. Now, you may be African, but what he's saying is we're all not fucking African. And y'all are very disrespectful. That's why y'all got y'all ass whooped tonight.
And
Because y'all being
Jabari
so fucking disrespectful.
and Jabari could not prove that he was. All he showed was some papers. He did not show exact lineage, bloodline. He did not show matriarchal, the list of your grandparents, your great grandparents, your great 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 grandparents. He did not show that, so his evidence is off, way
And
off.
he used the DNA test too, and we just
Yes.
proved
And
how
then
that's
we
not real.
just shut DNA down too, right?
Exactly.
yes.
So we showing y'all now at this point, and this is what I was telling y'all. At some point, right? You have to start saying, man, listen, it's too much information out here. This is still like you walking around here believing in Jesus, right?
Right.
Because after a certain amount of time, when things aren't adding up and you can't prove certain things, this is what I say. You niggas may as well have stayed over there in church. Now, don't get me wrong, right?
Yep.
When I was going on my journey, I came through the Pan-African stage. I also came through the religious stage,
We
right?
all did. And
Some
my
people
parents,
went through the Hebrew stage.
and my parents
Some
was telling me, but
Right.
we all did.
Yeah. So when you think about it, ain't nobody in your family told you was African. And you ain't never heard that shit.
No.
Until you went to school.
And until you saw roots and the school
And
made
you saw
look
roots.
at made you look at roots. That was your homework assignment.
And then you come to find out roots was a lie.
That was it was the African
It
written
was
by
a
a white
whole
man.
stolen story from a white man.
That's right, the African.
The
That's
African.
right.
This is what I be saying, man. Like, even if you are from Africa, right? More power to you, right? And we don't hate that. The thing is this. Wouldn't you want to know exactly where you're from in Africa? This is where genealogy comes into play. This is why genealogy is important. Them records, vital statistics, things like that. Them little DNA kits ain't giving you that information. They're not telling you that information. They're not showing you newspaper clippings of your relatives. They're not showing you books your relatives wrote. They're telling you, hey, you might be connected to King Tut.
You know, let me tell you something funny too. Most of these Pan-Africans don't even have real African homies.
They really don't. They really don't. And the
Africans
thing
don't
about
think
it is, I've been to
right.
Africa.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Tell you,
What about when you talk to the real Africans though? And
they would
be
let
like,
you know
what
that you're not African. They would let you
Oh,
know
they
that.
told me
or they
that.
tell you, what is that story you're telling me?
Exactly.
Right.
I
I've never
never
heard of the
that
slave.
story.
I've never heard of the slave story. They
Yeah.
always say that.
How
But
about they
China,
not teaching them that shit over there in Africa that they're teaching you
Exactly.
this shit over here in America?
facts.
But
And
supposedly
China is
people
taking
that
over in Africa. China is definitely taking over. So
And while y'all, hold on, y'all, and let me show y'all one more time before we go. And while y'all are trying to be African, right? These niggas is trying to be y'all. And y'all better know that shit. These niggas right here is trying to be who y'all are. And y'all are handing it right over to them.
sure is.
While y'all trying to prove that y'all are African somewhere, you can't tie yourself back to Africa or nothing. You're too lazy to even look and see if maybe you are African or your people did come from over there. These people right here is protesting outside about your football team logos, your baseball team logos, right? And then they're walking around here with hair bonnets and shit on, having powwows and shit right in your fucking face. Calling themselves Indian.
Right. And you attending that and calling the real stuff that's showing the real culture fake.
Right. And you showing up
I
at
don't
day
get it.
powwows, a bunch of pale faces. Hey, 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 you don't see nobody that look like you.
That shit
Them
terrible.
people looking at you like, what the fuck you doing here? We don't like you. Then you making lives trying to make it say, hey, y'all. Yeah, man, do you know they make fun of you, nigga? They don't like you like them Africans don't like you, nigga. So get the fuck out of here. Bloodline was very key tonight. Bloodline won the debate. Genealogy won the debate. Couldn't fuck with it. I'm talking about when I say out the fucking gate, he smacked that nigga around so bad with Bloodline. Out the gate.
That's right.
He smacked him so bad, Jabari was fucking stunned. He didn't know what to fucking say. You know why? Because he thought he had heard it all before. He thought he heard all of these arguments before. And he didn't. And Topcatz, to his credit, he did not come in here predictable. And then, to Topcatz' credit, he knew the weak ass arguments these Pan-Africans bring to the table, right? So he knew the DNA shit was gonna come up. He ate your shit up with that, right?
Right.
He knew y'all love to praise these fucking weak ass Pan-African niggas like Marcus Garvey, right? So you threw an alley-oop to him the whole time. I loved it. Listen, as soon as it came out of Jabari's mouth, I said alley-oop. I said, oh,
you can see Topcatz smiling.
He's smart enough to know these are their weak ass arguments. Or it would have been some shit about Lucy. That weak ass argument that we done killed that shit too. That Pan-African shit is done, nigga. It's over. It's over. Take that monkey shit off.
And you know what's crazy? I want them to keep that shit. Honestly, I don't want them coming over here. I'm starting to see it.
I really don't. I said I'm really.
Listen, man. I'm just gonna say this, man. I am proud of tonight. I gotta say, Topcatz made us proud. And I gotta say, the other night, AP made me proud because I think AP did what he was supposed to do, and Sanchez tried to. From what I watched, it was some bullshit. But Topcatz did his thing tonight too, and these niggas, your arguments are done. Those little weak ass arguments are done.
Yep, and both of them stayed calm. AP stayed calm. He didn't let him rile him up, and so did Topcatz.
Right.
Tonight, Bloodline and Genealogy stood tall and strong. And strong. Chin up, chest out. I loved it, man. I'm about to get out of here though, y'all.
Good night, y'all. Love and light.
I'm going to bed happy tonight because I am really proud of how they handle that, man. And,
me too. Man, I'm proud of the family.
I'm gonna chop it up with y'all later, man. But y'all be
always
safe.
You too, Chief. You too. You too, Nashoba.
All right, thank you. All right, Chief.
Y'all take it easy, man. I'm about to get up out of here, though, man.
All right, y'all. Talk to you tomorrow. Peace.
No beef! No beef! No beef! No beef!
Swear we gon' die every day. Swear we gon' die every day. They said Jesus gon' save us. Well, I know we die if we wait. I know we die if he can't. They tell us we black, but we ain't. Aboriginal, native, yeah, we gon' die every day. Cause we don't know where we came. We been here, lived here, open borders, got deported, fought for rights. Kidnapped, bitch slapped, blacked out, covered up, washed white. Drugged up, slugged up, beat bread, left for dead, fuck your life. It's all a plan, kill your man, take your land, slave your kids, rape your wife. Why y'all look so mad if all this shit I say is true? Why y'all look so mad if all this shit happen to you? White man quick to tell you was a slave, nothing before. But he himself only been free since 1840. On recording, I'm an ancient Egyptian from Atlantis, headed straight for Canada, that's Israel. Nothing fake about me, no capping, rapping, I just fed the ink and I'm digital. No caveman, I'm original. Kentucky fried, extra crispy. Wear a lot of gold, cause my family history. I'm the guy to know, I bring death to history. Swear we gon' die every day. They said Jesus gon' save us. Well, I know we die if we wait. I know we die if he can't. They tell us we black, but we ain't. Aboriginal, native, yeah, we gon' die every day. Cause we don't know where we came. Swear we gon' die every day. They said Jesus gon' save us. Well, I know we die if we wait. I know we die if he can't. They tell us we black, but we ain't. Aboriginal, native, yeah, we gon' die every day. Cause we don't know where we came. Power, only respect power. Respect power. What's been said can't be said no louder. Stand for something, or you die a coward. They bombed our churches, set our kids on fire. Police keep erasing cause they backed up by the nation. Nation ain't complaining cause the Indians still hanging. Comanche, Sioux, Apache, ain't no history in blackness. No reason for that chatting if you bitch up when it's action. AR on my body, tell the bro to grab the shot and loading up that new edition. Finna hit him with this bobby. I can't shoot the shit, but 30 shouldn't miss. 54 races, 100 for his clique. Anytime in prison, they don't want the shit. They don't want the problems. Snitches get the stick. Talking all that hatred, end up running like a bitch. Quick to call the laws, quick to play the bitch. Swear we gon' die every day. They said Jesus gon' save us. Well, I know we die if we wait. I know we die if he can't. They tell us we black, but we ain't. Aboriginal, native, yeah, we gon' die every day. Cause we don't know where we came. Swear we gon' die every day. They said Jesus gon' save us. Well, I know we die if we wait. I know we die if he can't. They tell us we black, but we ain't. Aboriginal, native, yeah, we gon' die every day. Cause we don't know where we came.
I ain't nothing like all the rest. I'm a real alpha male, birth to death. Shit ain't right, then I'm going left. I'm a born leader, I think for self. Morals and principles, I stand on that. I ain't about asking, I take my respect. Chin up with my chest out the same way I did when I banged the set. I'm on a mission of purpose to ruffle some feathers while I'm at it, step on some toes. Niggas is frauds, standing next to a real nigga that she gon' get you exposed. Niggas ain't woke in this conscious community. Niggas unconscious, they sleep while they walk. These niggas ain't nothing but agents of chaos. The same ones that ran to the stage to kill Malcolm. I'm here to shake up and shut shit down. Every fraud I find getting called out. Niggas selling they souls and out. I'ma hit these dogs till I make them howl. Chokehold got a death grip both ways, literally and metaphorically. It's a courtesy call with a warning involved. No, I ain't the beef to be ordering. I come in peaceful, don't get this shit twisted. A heart full of gold, but it pushing out vicious. I stand for the weekend, I bang on the wicked. I'm still with the shit, don't appear on that shit list. All through life felt treated different, like I don't belong in this here existence. The way I think I felt, no one gets it. A lot of eyes but no inner vision. Cold world full of fire lines. I'm an Indian up through my bloodline. Every brick I see added to walls of oppression. I'm at it to tear it down. Snaking and taking to get from the people. Ain't never been cool, always get something to me. Every black sheep that I knew was a leader. So nigga, in my case, I bullied the bully, yeah.